Everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we got Mark Cuban versus women. If you are a woman who's standing next to Trump, you're dumb and weak according to Mark Cuban. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Fat Joe says Puerto Ricans who support Trump are house N-words. He says the N-word verbatim on air, live with a camera in his face, then turns around and says, I wonder who would say the N-word first from the Republican side. We can't make this stuff up. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the rapper known as Young Thug has been released from jail after 2.5 years. And this was a Fani Willis case that went nowhere. Talking about, oh, he's going to go to prison forever. He's going to do 45 years. He's a ringleader. They did delete 50 people. All these things, all to go home after 2 years of probation and time served. Ridiculous, embarrassing. Also, Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, wants to raise property taxes by $300 million to make up for the $1 billion budget shortfall. I wonder where that money will go. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got a lot going on. There's a lot we got to get into. Shout out to you guys for being here. There's so much. Oh, man. We got Halloween outfits. We got everything going on. There's so much. Fani, I want to vent about Fani for a minute before we continue. Fani, listen, I don't really care how to pronounce the lady's name. I couldn't care less. I promise I couldn't. Just like the whole thing with Kamala, it doesn't really matter. Regardless of how you pronounce her name, after Tuesday, it's not really going to matter because she's going to lose. So what? Same thing with Fani. Who cares? Who actually cares? You know what I want to call Fani? You know what her name should be? Prisoner inmate number 19582365. That's what her name should be. Give her however many digits of a number in Fulton County, Georgia. Lock her up. Send her to the penitentiary. Make her make big rocks to little rocks. Listen, Fani Willis brought forward the Donald Trump election interference case and the case against the rapper Young Thug to promote herself, to get more publicity, to become a household name. Maybe she wants to become the governor, the mayor, a senator, something else. Maybe she wants to go to Supreme Court. Maybe Fani, however you say her name, I promise it's impossible for me to care less about her name. But maybe she was so delusional, she thought she'd be the next Ketanji Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court. Because before this whole thing with Trump, her and her partner, her lover, her boo thing, the married man, Big Nathan Wade, went to the White House and spoke with Kamala and spoke with people before the Trump charges came about in Fulton County. Maybe she thought she'd be on this higher level after the Trump case. And we all know the Trump case fell apart. It was a complete dumpster fire. She gave the sugar baby, the special prosecutor on the case, Nathan Wade, $700,000. And then she said, oh, well, that wasn't for me. I didn't benefit. They went on trips all around the country, cruises to nice islands, Bahamas, wherever they went. They were spotted all around the letting together, going to the finest of restaurants, going to hotels. His phone was pinged near her address on several nights, I think for several months. They are an item. They are in a relationship. And the money, of course, went back to Fani. The same way that the money that Ilhan Omar gives her consultant, Tim Minette, goes back to Ilhan Omar. The difference between what Ilhan Omar does and what Fani did is that Ilhan Omar married the consultant, Tim Mynett. Although before that, she was married to her brother, which is a different story. The point is she's married to the guy. But Fani and Nate were just creeping. Nate was married, but not to her. It's a whole big mess. But anyway, the Trump case, for pure publicity, trying to raise up, trying to become somebody. Young Thug's the same way. Now, let me tell you about Young Thug. Young Thug is a rapper, of course, and the allegation is that he's a leader of a gang called YSL. There's opinions about what that stands for. Some say it's a record label. They just put out rappers and whatnot. They say Young Stoner Life. It's just a music label. We just rap. Some say it's Young Slime Life or Young Slat Life, and it's a gang. The allegation is that this alleged gang deleted 50 people or so in Atlanta in about a 10-year period. That's the allegation. So Young Thug is supposed to be the ringleader, the head honcho, the boss, the shot caller. Now, if you are the boss of a gang and you deleted 50 people in 10 years and you're facing at least 40, 45 years in the penitentiary to make big rocks to little, but you get out after 2.5 years served in jail with time served in probation, that means they had nothing from the beginning. This was the most lengthy case in Georgia's history, not just Fulton County, not just Atlanta, the most expensive and lengthy case in the history of Georgia. Tens of millions of dollars, 2.5, almost 3 years. And this is what you got? Time served, probation, huh? They had zero from the beginning, and the way they ran the case was terrible. You got judges getting removed from the bench, judges threatening lawyers. One judge that came in after the first judge got removed had to recuse herself because she was allegedly fornicating with somebody in the trial. One of these guys, one of these alleged gang members, shooters, she was with one of these guys, allegedly. Then they bring in the last judge, the white lady, and she sets things right? Completely embarrassing. The first two judges black, last judge white. That's going to create some kind of racial issue. It was a mess. It was a complete mess. The case shouldn't have been brought. Now, some are going to say, well, look, ABL, Young Thug should be in prison because he's a criminal and he did help delete those people. Well, look, if everybody knows he's a criminal, if it's so obvious, then it should be pretty easy to have a trial, present the evidence, and get them locked up, right? It should be pretty easy. But they were not able to do that because they're incompetent and they didn't have the necessary evidence to go forward. So maybe, just a novel idea, get the evidence first, do your homework, do your due diligence, don't make mistakes, don't do all kind of ex parte meetings and undercover, underhand, corrupt stuff. Maybe don't do that. Clean up the court system in Fulton County. Clean that up if you want to get criminals prosecuted. If you guys are not doing your job, if you guys are just whatever, you're trying to get money, you're trying to go on TV, you're trying to become a celebrity, you're focused on external things that don't matter in the case. What's the result? You're going to have innocent folks get locked up. Remember the lady that got found drunk outside that club? And by the way, that club got shut down. The Red Martini Lounge, where the lady, what's her name, Christina or whatever, that probate, whatever judge, that lady locked up an innocent Asian woman who came in to adjust her marriage license because she discovered her real father. So she had to change the name on the marriage license. She came in for that and wound up getting locked up for a day or two until the husband was able to come give $500 to bail her out. And the only reason why she was locked up is because she's an Asian lady married to a black woman, and the judge, Christina, does not like black men dating interracially or marrying interracially. That's how a corrupt judge can lock an innocent person up. In the case of Young Thug, if he did what they say they did, if he did what they say he did and he's not locked up, it's because of the same process. It's because of the same people who aren't doing their due diligence, who aren't doing a good job. They just do whatever they want, don't follow any rules. They're all about just trying to get money and all this other stuff. Quick money, that Atlanta hustle culture. It's crazy. It's totally nuts. But hey, I hope Fani, however you say her name, gets locked up and does the maximum, does the ultimate. That's what I hope. But I'm getting triggered. I'm already getting hot. It's already about to be 1,000 degrees in here. But if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right. We got a lot to get into, but y'all know how I do. First things first, shout out to y'all for watching. Of course, you guys are the best sponsor I could have. Also, shout out to ABL merch. Shout out to patriotpost.us. There we go. Patriotpost.us, the best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or just type in patriotpost.us in the browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also, go to ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, give me 1 second. It is so hot in here. Listen, the heat in this room is killing my face. It's going to be sweat all over my face. Give me 1 minute, please. All right. How about the bust in the flames? I was trying to, not turn my AC back on because it's been cold here. I had my furnace on. I'm going to try to go back and forth, but now I can't help it, man. I'm about to melt in my chair. You understand what I'm saying? It's like an ice cream cone in somebody's back seat, and it's the middle of the summertime. Your seat going to be completely sherbet covered when you come back. It's going to be a mess. Anyway, so yeah. The AC feels so good. I wish you could feel it with me. It feels like a ray of sunshine on my face. I promise it does. But anyway, so we got patriotpost.us, ABL, patriotpost.us, ablmerch.com. Also, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. We have articles for each video that I produce. The AC is... We have articles for each video that I produce. And in each article, you got sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the politically agnostic, Democrat, Republican, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the website, ABL merch, AnthonyBLogan.com, ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. All my links will be in the box. All right. And of course, go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact us. There you can find my email address, my email address, of course, my UPS box, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, my TikTok. Yes, I am 100 million years old on TikTok. I am Joe Biden on TikTok. I am a fossil on TikTok. I am sedimentary rock. I am limestone on TikTok. I am old, Methuselah. The first man, Cro-Magnon, caveman. That's what I am on TikTok, but it's all good. I'm still over there. Shout out to you guys who follow me on all platforms. I really, really appreciate y'all. But all my links, everything will be in the box. And as I always say, please don't get scammed. Don't nobody got time for that. It's 2024. If you think you're conversing with me, just go to the website, double check your method of communication. My email is very easy. It's contact@anthonyblogan.com. That email is always on the website. Very easy. If it's anything else, it's not me. All right. So we got a whole lot going on. There's a lot that we got to talk about. And I appreciate y'all again for joining. Now, yeah, ain't no ceiling fan in here. I might get a ceiling fan. Put it right there. I got a light right there. That'd be perfect location. So, matter of fact, I could put one right there because I replaced that light. I replaced that light and that light on the ceiling. You can't see it. But right there, it's like I could almost touch it if the ceilings weren't as high as they are. But yeah, it's gonna be a Southern fan right there. And somebody said they forget what Young Thug was accused of. Basically, the accusation from the beginning is that Young Thug was leader of a gang called YSL, and YSL had committed between 40 and 50 homicides, murders, whatever you want to call it, in the Atlanta metro area. That's the allegation. But all of that for an allegation to get off with time served in probation. It didn't have anything. If he would have gone to trial, he would have beat it. But going to trial would have taken so much more time and money. He didn't already spent 2.5 years fighting it. So it is what it is. All right. We got a whole lot going on. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's start with some Halloween costumes, shall we? Halloween costumes. All right. Now, where are we going to go first? Now, I was going to play one from Joe Biden, but it wound up being some kind of AI. That was really crazy. I couldn't have played that. But Joe Biden, like, we got to figure out what's going on with this guy. I mean, seriously. Like, what is the problem? What's wrong with your man, Joe? Can he just leave the children alone? All right. I might have played this last time, but this is Joe at a White House Christmas party. Now, I know I've seen some posts about Jill in the panda suit and somebody wearing the pizza outfit and the child with a chicken costume on. I have seen that, but I don't know a lot about that. But I want you to know that I have seen that correlation. Now, look, there's no reason for you to be biting the baby's leg or pretending you biting it or whatever. You're doing way too much. You're doing entirely too much. This right here is 1000% certified PDF file behavior. Certified PDF file behavior from him. So, I mean, I'll be glad when he's gone. I promise. Now, you know how you should be around kids, how you should be at a Halloween party at the White House. Let me show you what we had. This was back when Trump and Melania were in the White House. This is a classic. Remember this? I'm gonna turn the music down. And then that right there is a classic. Classic. I love it. And then the candy fell off. Now, I'm 1,000 years old. So what's this movie? Is this the Minions, what this character is from? So you got this kid with the inflatable type costume, and Trump and Melania put what appears to be some kind of Kit Kat bar or something on top of the boy or girl's head, the kid's head. And then the bars just kind of slide off. Hilarious. That right there is a classic. So yeah, shout out to Trump and Melania. I think they really match each other. They're like the same person, in my humble opinion. Remember when Melania, something got leaked about Melania, and they were trying to make it be this really big thing and saying that she was a bad person, but really made her sound better, and she sounded just like Trump in the audio. That right there shows how much they are kind of linked together. And you know, the media, they want to hate on them, talking about, oh, she hates Trump. I can't tell. I think they are the exact same person. Yeah, so shout out to Trump and Melania. We need that back. Okay, we need that back in the White House. We don't need nobody biting babies' legs and things of this nature. Now, we got a great meme right here. Somebody went to what appears to be a basketball game, or nah, this is a rally. This is a Trump rally, actually. Trump rally. And somebody is dressed as the triggered liberal from the memes. Remember, what was that? Was it 2016 when Trump won the first time? And the lady's like, no, this is that costume right here. RIP to the headphone users. Perfect. That right there, that's creativity. I love seeing that. Shout out to you guys with the creative Halloween costumes. I love it. Absolutely. Fantastic. That's what I like to see. And I want to, hey, come Tuesday, we're going to see a lot more of that. This right here, hey, man, I cannot wait. The memes, oh, my goodness. Listen, if I see some celebrities crying, all this, that, and the third, oh, my. I'm going to make all the videos. It's going to be fabulous. And we're going to get to celebrities in a minute because they're tripping, of course. This one right here was great as well. Shout out to the little boy. Shout out to the little boy's parents. So, you know, Trump made the comment, not Trump, pardon me. Biden made the comment about Trump supporters being garbage. That's what he said. They want to say, oh, he didn't say that. Yes, he did say it. Can I play the clip right quick if I have it? Biden said that Trump supporters are garbage. That's what he said. Now, he can say whatever he wants. But we heard what he said the first time.
Oh, the Puerto Rican that I know, or Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. The only garbage I see floating out there are his supporters. This is what he said on camera. We don't need to really try to dissect it. It was so hilarious talking about what the White House said. He was referring to Trump's supporter, singular, meaning the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made the Puerto Rico island joke. It's like, for real. They changed the transcript on the White House's website, much to the stenographer's chagrin. The stenographer did not like that. They're straight up, this is like Soviet Union type stuff, changing things to whatever they think will look the best. But let me go back to the young fella in the garbage costume, I suppose.
When he called us all garbage. How stupid. What a stupid word. That blows deplorable away, don't you think? Of course, I thought irredeemable when she said deplorable or irredeemable. I thought irredeemable was actually worse, but deplorable seemed to catch up. But this garbage stuff blows it away. So I'm in this beautiful plane. I'm enjoying myself. Have a wonderful suit on. When he called us all garbage.
So perfect. Hey, shout out to the little boy and his parents. That right there is the perfect Halloween costume with the high-vis vest on, the big boots, the Trump sign on the side of the truck. Fantastic. Love it. Yeah, Carolyn, what they say? Misspoke, gaffe, error, oopsie. Yeah. Oops, sorry I called you guys garbage. I didn't really mean it. I was saying something else. That's not really what I meant. Now we got another one. Another costume right here. This is fantastic. Don't fall.
Mr. President, please. It's one step, Mr. President. Yes, good job, Mr. President. Yes, right here. No, this way, right here. Okay.
Fantastic. I love it.
Mr. President, please. It's one step, Mr. President. Yes, good job, Mr. President.
I love it. Shout out to the youngest out there having a good old time with the biting costume. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And whoever that is in that costume is much more agile than Joe is. Okay. Now I know Joe's a million years old, but maybe if you're having a hard time walking, maybe you shouldn't be the president. I'm just saying, maybe walking in a straight line should be a requirement. It's like drinking and driving. If you can't pass a sobriety test, you're not going to be able to be behind the wheel of a car. So if you would fail that same test, just in general, walking around without even being drunk like Kamala Harris is a lot of times, allegedly, then maybe the presidency isn't for you. Just maybe. Now, look, we got another great costume. I know Liz Cheney and all these guys will love this costume. Check it out. All right, we got the Green Man military outfit.
Happy Halloween.
All right. So that right there. Now, I don't know. Is this AI? I don't think so. If this is AI, it's super advanced. This looks like this guy is really on it. Okay, with the green face paint, body paint, everything. That is a perfect costume. Hey, if I could figure out a way to do that, I would do that. That'd be my costume right there. The green man outfit. Now, luckily, I live in MAGA country, so if I walk around with this toy gun, ain't nobody gonna call the police, ain't nobody gonna get triggered and afraid. Everybody would pretty much be okay. All right, everybody would be okie dokie. All right, so yeah, shout out to the green man outfit. Fantastic. Now, this is not quite a Halloween costume, but it's a great impression.
Hi.
The caption, Kamala Harris orders Chinese food. Now, this lady is going to be calling a Chinese food number and start to play on the line. Now, I have never in my life had the idea to just play on the phone with the Chinese food lady. That ain't what you do. If you don't get your order out in 2 seconds, you're going to get cussed out instantly. What you want? What you want? 10 minutes. What you want? What you want? That's what they're going to be on. So I've never had that idea. If you stutter one time on the phone, stop playing phone. 10 minutes. What you want? That's what they're going to be. But she decided to go ahead and do it anyway. So, hey, hats off to her. Let's see what happened.
Hi, it's Ching Ching Chicken. Hi, I'm Kamala Harris. I'm going to order some Chinese food. Oh my god, I love, where's your accent from? Can I just say, I love the working class so much. Yes, I order. Kung Pao. Oh my god, you know, I grew up middle class and we ate Chinese food all the time. Yeah, I'm Asian as well. do you want 2 or 3 egg roll? Fried rice, chicken fried rice. Okay, I like the way you think. Us Asians are gonna stick together.
Wow, the lady called her out to my son. You not Asian, you Indian.
Bye-bye. Doggy, the food's.
So yeah, shout out to whoever that is. I've seen her before. She does the Kamala perfectly. The perfect Kamala impression. So shout out to her. Yeah, playing on the phone with a Chinese lady, man. Nah. What you want? That's what she say. That's how they're gonna be. Cause they don't got time, man. They in there. Listen, they be in there hustling, going hard, making that food. They don't have time for your shenanigans. They're not really trying to play. But at the end, she was kind of playing along. You're not Asian, you Indian. I loved it. Now, Biden. Let's go back to Biden. Why do they let him outside? Why do they let him outside? Hold on. Matter of fact, I got to find something. I have to find it because this was great. What's my man on Fox News? Is it named Jimmy Waters? On Fox. Waters World. What's my man's name? Jesse Waters. Jesse Waters had a good compilation of late night comedians talking about they should have just let Joe. I think, what did Jimmy Kimmel say? Kimmel said you should just let him out in the corn maze and leave him. let him out in the corn maze and leave him because he's so bad that he shouldn't be on TV talking anymore. He should just be quiet and that's it. But he can't. He can't be quiet. He can't do anything other than embarrass himself. Now, as I look for that one, let's watch this.
But I'm serious.
And RIP to the headphone users.
But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
Excuse me? Joe, pardon me? I beg your pardon, Joe Biden? What was that?
But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass. But I'm serious. These are the kind of guys you like to smack in the ass.
I don't really understand that. And I'm sorry for the language. It might be a little bit too much. But I don't really understand, like, what are we saying exactly, sir? I'm not quite sure that I get it. You want to respect me in the hind parts for what? Is that some kind of form of aggression? I don't think that you mean, well, I don't know what's going on, man. To be totally honest, I feel like it's a little bit of sexual harassment. I don't like that, man. Yeah, I don't like that. Hey, I don't know why they let him outside. It's like, what do you benefit from letting this guy loose? Why would you let him loose? It doesn't make sense. But hey, it is what it is. That is your man, Joe Biden. They don't have anybody on their side. They have no one. I mean, they took him out. They cooled him. And who do we have as a result? We got Kamala, a cackling maniac. We got Tampon Tim, Sis Boom Ba, Walz. It's weird. It's totally 100% weird. All right. But let's keep on going here. Oh, this was a funny ad. This was a hilarious ad right here.
Your turn, honey.
In the one place in America where women still have a right to choose. You can vote any way you want. And no one will ever know.
Did you make the right choice?
Sure did, honey.
Remember, what happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote Harris Walz. Vote Common Good is responsible for the content.
Okay, so now my only issue with the ad, people were retweeting talking about something, oh, this is going to really upset the conservatives. My only issue with the ad is that she did not fully darken the circle on her Scantron sheet. When I have done any kind of Scantron, going back to grade school, up until now, voting, my Scantron is completely, the bubble on the Scantron is completely darkened. The circle is like, this gap right here, that's crazy. Okay, the OCD, whatever you want to call it, is going crazy. That's the only thing I'm worried about. I don't care if you voted for Kamala. I don't even see that. Okay, because not everybody has a brain they can use properly, and that's okay. I don't attack the disabled people that don't have proper brain function. But this right here was my only thing. So yeah, please fill in your circle all the way. Don't leave it like that and then put it on TV. I don't want to see that. It's so sloppy. But yeah, that ad didn't really move me too much at all. All right, we're going to keep on rocking. We got a lot of celebrities endorsing Kamala, endorsing leftists. Let's watch. You must darken the bubble, Chicago hood. You must darken the circle all the way.
Look,
we got Harrison Ford.
Look, I've been voting for 64 years. Never really wanted to talk about it very much. But when dozens of former members of the Trump administration are sounding alarms, saying, for God's sake, don't do this again, you have to pay attention. They're telling us something important. These aren't soft people. They're governors, generals, standing up against the leader of the party they spent their lives advocating for. For many of them, this will be the first time they've ever voted for someone who doesn't have an R next to their name.
But look, at a certain point, if we see an issue with politics in this country, if these people aren't doing the right thing, then they got to go. The people are going to say no more. Just because the old guard doesn't like what we're doing does not mean we're doing the wrong thing. All that it means is we don't agree. If I don't align with Liz Cheney wanting to go to war and things of this nature, I'm not a bad person for that.
Because they know this really matters. The truth is this: Kamala Harris will protect your right to disagree with her about policies or ideas. And then, as we have done for centuries, we'll debate them, we'll work on them together, and we'll move forward. The other guy, he demands unquestioning loyalty, says he wants revenge. I'm Harrison Ford. I've got one vote, same as anyone else, and I'm going to use it to move forward. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris.
All right, so there we go. And of course, these are all actors. they act, and it's not just acting in the movie. They may act in different ways. A spot like this, you get into your acting mode. Okay, I'm going to be serious. I'm going to be stern. I got on my regular t-shirt. It's black and white. I look kind of like a regular person. I'm acting like that. That's what they do. You can't really trust actors. It's kind of like lawyers. Now, speaking of actors, we have the Avengers cast. Now, get ready for some cringe. Get ready. Brace yourself for the cringe.
Hi, you guys. Hi, Avengers.
Hey, Scarlett.
Jumping on the call.
Whoa. I think you mean assembling. I said assembling. Don, that's pretty good. No, they thought it was funny.
Scarlett, it is our pleasure to come together and to get the vote out this election. Come on.
Yeah, how can we be of service?
Well, how about we start with what our voting plans are going to be, who we're going to bring to the polls with us, that sort of thing.
I think Kamala Harris needs a catchphrase.
Ooh, yes, definitely a catchphrase.
How about this? I'm just off the top of my head. I can do this all day.
Shut up. I hate it.
Okay.
I mean, it's original, but...
What about something punchier like, ooh, boom. You looking for this? Iron Man 2, everybody loved it.
Okay, again, I think we're just trying to get out the vote.
Kamala forever.
That's better.
Okay, how about I'm down with democracy? It's just clean, it's simple.
Okay, I like that.
It's hard to argue with that.
Kamala Harris down with democracy.
Oh, yeah. I'm Kamala Harris, and I say down with democracy.
I don't know if that sounds the way we want it to sound, though.
I think we just need, can we get some production, though?
Jarvis?
My name's not Jarvis, but whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Down with democracy.
Down with democracy.
Is that what we mean, though?
Yeah, together we're going to tear down democracy.
Will you stop playing heroic music under yourselves?
I'm Kamala Harris, and I am down with democracy. Did I sound enough like her on that one?
That was great. How many Golden Globes have you been nominated for? I'm just curious.
Yes!
Okie dokie. There we have it. I told you the cringe was off the hook. Off the hook. Is he still getting high? Like, what's going on with this face? Anyway, there we have it. The Avengers cast. All support Kamala, or the people that were in this particular spot, they support Kamala. This was 100% just acting. These are all actors. It was acting. The timing, the music, the cinematography is all acting. It's made to look like they're regular normies, but they're not normies at all. This was 100% acting, and it didn't sway me. Okay, it didn't sway me. I love I can't, you know what? I'm going to say something. I'm not a big fan. I don't watch the MCU stuff. It's just too much. It's too long. They want you to watch 15 movies. I don't got that kind of time. Okay, it's just, I'm not really into it. I've not watched Marvel movies since maybe the first Black Panther, I think. And that was kind of, a little different. Anyway, not a fan. And that ad did not sway me. It didn't. Okay, now we got another celebrity. All right, they're rolling them out. And this is the best they got. This is all they got. I'm showing a highlight reel. I'm not really showing Tampon Tim talking about rah rah sis boom ba kicking his leg like he's about a cheerleader, like a 12-year-old middle school girl cheerleading. I'm not going to show Tampon Tim doing that until later. But what I am showing is the highlight reel of their celebrity endorsements. This is what they're posting. This is straight from Doug Emhoff's page. Okay, Doug Emhoff. The pugilist, the champion prize fighter against, you know what? You know who would love to become a woman and fight other women? Doug Emhoff. Yeah, put him in there. Doug Emhoff might pull a Bruce Jenner and then go beat up women because he enjoys doing that just on the regular, allegedly. But Doug Emhoff posted this from Mark Cuban. All right. And we're going to get to Mark Cuban in a little bit more about his comments talking about how Trump supporting women are dumb and weak.
If you want the economy to grow, if you want to see your paycheck increase, if you want to see your business make more money, and you want to keep more of that money, Kamala Harris is the president for the American economy. My name is Mark Cuban, and I'm voting for Kamala Harris, and I'm about to tell you why. I've invested in a lot of businesses, and you may know me from Shark Tank, but what you don't know is how I got started. After I left school, I went down to Dallas, Texas, had no money, got a job at night working as a bartender, slept on the floor. I had 5 roommates in a 3-bedroom apartment. I was broke, living off of mustard and ketchup sandwiches.
Now, is this Mark Cuban or Rachel Maddow? I can't tell. I've not seen Mark Cuban and Rachel Maddow in the same room at the same time. So I'm not saying they're the same person, but there's a chance.
And so I understand what the power of broke is. The power of broke is when you are so broke, you have only one direction to go. And one of the reasons I support Kamala Harris is that she understands the power of broke. She wasn't born with a silver spoon in her mouth. She didn't have $400 million from daddy.
Now, didn't Mark Cuban get rich from the dot-com bubble? Isn't that how he made a bunch of money? Now, in that bubble, a lot of guys lost their entire shirt. I was watching the video today, and there was a guy that had lost a bunch of money from the dot-com bubble and from a divorce. Millions. He said he had like $17 million in shares in the dot-com bubble. And by the time he was able to sell it, because of restrictions, he wound up making, $350,000. That kind of money from 17 million, that's a big difference. Less than $500,000 for 17 million. I think Mark Cuban was just fortunate in the dot-com bubble to make money.
She knew she had to work her way up. She understands how each and every one of us want a better life. And Kamala Harris is ready to put you in that position to succeed. If you want the economy to grow, if you want to see your paycheck increase, if you want to see your business make more money and you want to keep more of that money.
Do you guys think that Kamala is a person to vote for if you want to keep more of your own money? Didn't Kamala say she's going to put price caps? Like that right there is a communist practice off the rip. She's promising communism. And we all know how that works. You're going to end up, everybody will be poor equally except for the elites. So a guy like Mark Cuban and those actors we saw previously in today's show, they think they're going to be the elites and the rest of everybody else is going to be the working class. That's how they view it. Okay, you guys are beneath us, you're the peons, and we're the elites. But the problem is that elites or those who think they're elite, they're not going to succeed either. They'll be the first ones, line up and delete it, because it always happens under communism. It's the same old thing, time and time again. It never really changes. It always ends the same way, always. All right? Now, I don't advocate violence, but what I want people to do is to stop harassing people, especially in public. Now, there's a little bit of language here. They said the F word to describe the LGBTs. So trigger warning on that one. But we got, is it Travis Kelce or his brother? What's his brother's name? Yeah, Travis. Yeah. Travis Kelce. And his brother is what? What's his brother's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. I don't watch a lot of football anymore. Jason. No, okay, yeah. Jason Kelce, not Travis. Jason, Travis's brother, was out minding his business, and somebody comes up to him and has something negative to say, and it doesn't really end well.
Hey, Kelsey! How does it feel your brother's a faggot? Let's go! Oh my God! Yeah?
Now, if you miss what happened, the guy shouts out to him, "Hey, Kelsey, how does it feel? Your brother's an F word." So at a certain point, Jason grabs a phone and smashes it. And then that guy kind of rolls up on him. Now, I don't think it makes sense for any human to roll up on an NFL football veteran. The kind of strength they have is just excessive. Okay, these are the kind of guys that could bend steel, bars, like weight bench bars. I suggest you don't do that. Leave people alone. But what do y'all think? I think it was too far for him to break the phone and do all that? Or was it just enough? I think it's okay because he didn't put his hands on them. And the main thing is leave me alone. I'm not bothering you. Leave me alone. All right. So that was a lesson you had to learn.
How are you?
Now, speaking about leaving people alone, somebody I think had a Trump sign somewhere, and my man right here was not too pleased with the Trump sign. Okay, the Trump derangement syndrome is real. Hey, if you have a Kamala sign, a coexist, a LGBT, whatever you're doing with yourself, that's your business. I'm gonna just mind my business. You mind your business. Everybody's fine. But then once you get into my bubble, now we're something different. If this happens to me, I'm gonna say, hey, I need you to back on up. Give me some distance, and then we're good. If you're this close to me, we might have to fight. And I'm not the fighting. I don't like fighting. I don't like fighting. I don't like getting my hands broken, fractures in my wrists, getting locked up. And usually the way it goes with me, if I do something to somebody, I'm always the one that gets in trouble. Oh, you shouldn't have done that. You're doing too much. Just leave people alone.
How are you today?
I'm great, you fucking
okay?
cunt.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry for the cussing.
I'm doing wonderful.
Yeah, you doing good?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You live in this neighborhood?
Doesn't matter.
You shouldn't be in this neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah. Do you have jaundice or something?
I shouldn't be in this neighborhood?
Guess what, Nazi? Go home.
All right.
You, Nazi piece of shit. Right. Go home.
Stop shaking your hands.
Go home.
And his hands were shaking pretty badly. Now, look. If you got this going on, you shaking your hands, trying to film me and cussing at me, I already know something ain't right with you. I'm trying to get up out of there, or I'm ready to fight. I'm going to try to just go about my business. But this right here is very common with people because they're so crazy. And these are the same ones that say that we on the right are causing the problems. No, we don't really do that. We don't really do that at all. Okay, but we got a whole lot more going on. Oh, now this was funny. This right here was hilarious. I don't know why they keep doing this. Why this is like a thing they think we care about. So look, you got a lot of these celebrities coming out making this video about how to pronounce Kamala's name. Now, this came from the Black Men Summit, where it was nothing more than a Kamala Harris commercial. I said that it was like, if it's going to be a true Black Men Summit, then there should be divergent. It should be some conservatives, liberals, independents, LGBT. It should be everybody who's a Black male there talking about politics. But all this was a Kamala Harris endorsement ad. And here you're talking about how to pronounce her name. All right, let's get some volume.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this right and let's not be disrespectful. It is Kamala Harris.
Kamala. We like money, right? You know, we like commas. Kamala. It's very simple. If you like money, say her name properly. Kamala.
Kamala, like Mamala. Do people like Mamala?
It's not Kamala. It's Kamala.
Kamala.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's.
Now, look, I promise, I don't care. I do not care. It doesn't matter. If I pronounce her name properly, will that reduce inflation? If I pronounce her name properly, will that close the southern border? If I pronounce her name properly, will that reduce crime? Will that bring the police back? Will that improve our nation if I pronounce her name properly? And these people are really funny because they'll call Trump a Nazi, orange man, Cheeto, Drumpf. Remember Drumpf when they figured out his name? They will call him all kind of things other than his name. They won't even say his name. They're so crazy. They won't even say his name. They'll say, oh, that man, the orange man, the orange guy. They won't even say his name. I couldn't care. I couldn't. It's impossible. Physically impossible for me to care anything less than what I care. My care level is so low, it's beneath the earth's crust. It's in the core of the earth. I can't even retrieve it. It's impossible for me to care any less than what I do right now. And I don't know why they keep making that be a thing like it matters. Trying to like talk down to me is not going to help me. Trying to talk down to me is not going to convince me to vote for her. Give me some policy that makes sense. How about that? Jake Paul is endorsing Trump.
Democrats have been in power for 12 of the last 16 years. So if we aren't happy with the current political state, economic state, environmental state, then who is to blame? Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate, has even said this himself.
We can't afford 4 more years of this.
We can't have 4 more years of this. Even Tim says there needs to be change. And he's right. We need to change from Kamala Harris to the Republican candidate, Donald Trump. Democrat.
There we go. Now, that was very well said, Jake Paul. But what are they going to focus on? Or you said her name wrong. To be totally honest, Kamala. It sounds the same. Tomato. I don't see the difference. And again, I don't even really care. What's the most important thing is the policy. And what he said about Democrats being in office over the past 16 years is right on point. Okay, they have had the power for a long time. And what do we have as a result? We don't have a lot of positive things as a result. Okay, so yeah, shout out to my main man, Jake Paul, for endorsing Trump. Oh, and before we get to another video I got of our friend Destiny getting destroyed, I found that video I was looking for earlier with a lot of the late night show comedians talking about Joe shouldn't be out there saying anything. All right, let me just skip to the part.
He says the media shouldn't even cover it.
This campaign is being covered by some of the best reporters I've ever seen and by some of the worst reporters I've ever seen. And the worst of them actually tried to create a controversy today. And those reporters know that that is false.
Now, he's talking about when Biden called us all garbage. He's saying that the reporters shouldn't even be covering it because they know that it was just a mistake. They know that it wasn't, he misspoke, it was a oopsie, all this, that, and the third. Now, this is the same guy on the same network that will cover any little thing that Trump says or does and will twist it to the point where it becomes something totally different. They do that every day. But then when Joe Biden clearly says, the only thing I see floating out there, the only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters, when he says that on camera in front of people, then you want to try to change it up to be something different and, spin it into something positive.
But it is the kind of false narrative that panicked, stupid campaign coverage exists to amplify.
And what's this right here on the right-hand side? They're absolute garbage coming from Trump. Why would they put that quote right there?
This is why no one trusts the press. We watch a video of the president calling us garbage. Then they tell us it didn't happen and to stop talking about it. Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, is telling his paper, everyone knows we're full of it. Something we're clearly doing is not working. Most people believe the media is biased. Anyone who doesn't see this is paying scant attention to reality. And those who fight reality lose. The media is in a really bad spot right now, but Jake Tapper found the bright side. If Trump wins, they'll make more money.
Yeah. Should he win, as a writer, you're going to have a lot more material. It's entirely possible that late night ratings, not just for your show, but every comedy show, and also I should acknowledge cable news, will go way up because there will be a lot more going on.
Of course. Listen, the networks rely on Trump to survive. All they talk about is Trump 24/7. He's not been in office for the past 4 years, and they talk about Trump every day. Why? It's a ratings bonanza. Without Trump, they have nothing to talk about. Why would you watch them at all? Why would I even be looking at his face right now if it wasn't about Trump? What other reason do I have to look at Jake Tapper? For what? Like, why would I see his face?
Do you ever think about the election personally versus professionally? Like, are you preparing for a Trump victory in any way, thinking, well, at the very least, it will be good for our family financially?
These guys need help. A study from the Media Research Center shows late night shows mock Trump 98% of the time. Kamala, off limits. Even though she's a walking laughing gas with a VP who's friends with school shooters. Joe Biden, on the other hand, fair game.
President Biden
appeared to refer to Trump supporters as garbage. Now, obviously, what he meant to say was nothing. Why are you saying anything? Did you forget that you're so bad at saying things we had to go get somebody else?
It's not a smart thing to say. Joe Biden should drop out of this race immediately.
Today, Kamala Harris was like, could someone drop Joe in a corn maze and leave him there till Wednesday? Just have him wander? Yeah.
Because they know how bad he is. Now, can we go back? Now, a lot of y'all are saying that they look weird. They look like lizards because they're not wearing their stage makeup. You know, whenever they go on TV, they're wearing makeup, heavy makeup. Now, shout out to my mom and my dad. I don't need no makeup on my face. This right here is all natural, okay? All natural. I'm not wearing bronzer and tinter and lip filler and Botox and lipstick and all that kind of stuff, okay? I'm not doing it. I got some lip chap so I don't be, having my lips dehydrated. But beyond that, I'm not wearing makeup like these guys wear makeup. He looks funny right now because he's not wearing his makeup on stage. Like, look at him right here. And then let's go ahead a little bit and see him right there. It's much different. He's wearing makeup and it's different lighting. That's all. That is all. That's why he looks like that. They all look like that. They look weird. They're not real people. They're actors. Whether they be in movies or TV news, it's the same energy. It's the same thing. It's no different. Anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And yeah, if I was to go on TV and they say, hey, ABL, we got a TV spot for you, blah, 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 blah. I'm not wearing no makeup. I'm not looking like Shannon Sharp when he's going to go on ESPN like he was in the casket. I don't want to look casket sharp. None of that's going on. All right. Now, let's go to Destiny getting cooked on one of these Jubilee debate shows.
Kamala Harris is...
All right, hold on. Let me show here.
Kamala Harris's policies and Trump's policies, we benefited. My community benefited.
In what? From what policy? What are you even
Because when
talking
you
about?
bring in an unskilled labor population, they're going to compete with Americans who are also low-skilled workers.
Do you think that we have an employment?
You don't think
Hold
you
on,
don't
wait,
think,
I just
you
need,
don't
I need
think
to get,
that I can't pick you don't think I can teach Maria or Juanita to pick up a pair of scissors and groom a dog's hair? Because I've done that before. And you know what? I can replace anybody. That's called being a low-skilled worker. And anybody crossing the border can do that. You don't need a degree. You don't need a diploma to do these jobs.
No, but we do have
these
degrees.
Jobs,
We're not. America does not have the most productive labor force in the world because we do base manufacturing jobs.
You don't think these low-skilled jobs are important. You don't think these low-skilled jobs are important. That's very sad. That's very sad that you don't care about low-skilled workers.
We do more in the United States than just base manufacturing. We are the world's most sophisticated and educated economy.
Why shouldn't we do more base manufacturing?
You don't have 50 hours in the day. You can do more than that. Why wouldn't we let other countries do it?
The reason that manufacturers choose to go out of the country is because America has to pay for things like labor laws, employment, insurance, all these other facets. That's why these big corporations will go to places like China. I have a company called BYD in my backyard that brings in Chinese immigrants and pays them Chinese wages in America. And my representative, Mike Garcia, got that organization defunded because federal funding, my taxes.
You think it would be better if we pay? So we need to
Chinese company in my backyard. I would rather pay American workers
$2 an hour to make products. Maybe your company shouldn't.
No. Let's pause before Destiny has. Then this posture, like, what is this? It's like a turtle. We're looking like Bowser from Mario Brothers. But anyway, the turtling is crazy. But the low-paid people here. Before we get to offshoring, that's a whole different issue. When they bring in migrants to work here, a lot of times they also get funded by the federal government, i.e. Haitians in Ohio. They're getting government monies and the money from the actual job. Plus, there's services that they depend on that are paid for by the taxpayers. French language translators, all kind of stuff. Okay, so they have another expense that we, the taxpayers, pay for to get the so-called cheap labor. Cheap labor is very expensive, actually.
It exist in America. Maybe you should go to China and make your company. Go to China and make the company. That would be better. You should do that. Yes, I'm arguing that American workers can earn more money than
you are very sad.
I'm saying
you don't love America.
Elon Musk.
You are proving that you don't love America because you don't want Americans to benefit. You don't want American manufacturing to lift people out of poverty. That is sad.
Got him. So yeah, there we go. Shout out to Destiny. And his birth name is not Destiny. His name is Steven. So R.I.P. Steve on that one. R.I.P. Steve. Let's keep on going. All right. This is a good one right here. Street interview.
Are you supporting Trump?
Because...
Hold on. Let me get that on the screen for you guys first.
Are you supporting Trump?
Because I love my country. Because I'm from California and I know what Kamala's all about.
What do you think Kamala can do for our country that Trump can't?
She will continue the policies of Joseph Biden that create strong economy.
If he says he's going to do something, it's going to be done.
We are right now the envy of the world in the economic sense.
Under Trump, African Americans, the lowest unemployment under African Americans.
Low unemployment, low inflation. I don't know what else anyone could want.
I know Trump's going to win. If not, Americans are stupid. I feel sorry for this country.
Are you supporting Trump?
So who do you think's right in here? Black guy, white guy, conservative, liberal. Who's right? Who's wrong? I think we all know what's going on. So shout out to my brother right there. Okay. Trump supporter, Trump Vance with the flag, all of that. I love to see it. Like I was telling a friend of mine, shout out to you if you're watching, telling a friend of mine the other day on the phone, I was like, look, part of the reason why I got on YouTube is because when I was like early 30s, late 20s, I was trying to find a guy like me that I could relate to on YouTube, and I didn't really find much. I found some guys where they didn't really hit the target for me. You know, so I was like, you know what? I'll just be the guy. And hopefully when I come on YouTube, after me, there's going to be guys and girls that feel more comfortable with coming out and being conservative openly. Now, I'm not going to take credit for guys like this coming out, but I hope that I inspired some people to be more open and be conservative, because that was my goal from the beginning. Okay, whether I did or not, that's something else, but I hope that I did. That's the whole point. So shout out to my man. All righty. Now, we have an angry liberal upset at Trump. All right. Now, there might be a little bit of cussing. I'm gonna try to do my real-time censoring if possible.
I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You constantly.
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on.
I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin. You just costed me one of the most important people in my life. My dad. Donald Trump, I hate you. You will never be president again. You bastard. You costed me my dad. My dad was the most important person in the world to me, but now his colors are finally out. I hate you, you fucking orange pumpkin bitch.
Okay, so she's upset. She says that Trump took her dad from her. This is a full-grown woman, it looks like. I don't think this is a child. This is like a full-grown lady right here. I've cried like that before. I've had that kind of cry before. When I was like about 4 years old, falling off a bike or something like that, busting my head open. Yeah, that might be the cry right there.
You stupid, failed fucking man.
Whoa. All righty. Ma'am. I advise you, please, and I'm being serious, for real. No joking. Please seek help. Trump derangement syndrome is real. Oh, I've seen people just fly off the handle. It's real. I've not seen it the other way. You know, if you want to support Kamala Harris, go ahead. I think it's a bad decision, but I'm not going to be crying and sniffling and snotting over it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. It's okay. It's okay. The hot tour right there is hilarious. Spitting on her own phone. It's like, ma'am, please, please stop and seek help. Really. All right. But we got a lot more to get into. Shout out to you guys. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But we got a lot to go through. We have a lot going on. Okay. Joe Rogan, we're going to get to that in a second. Because Kamala was supposed to go on Rogan, but didn't. And I want to show that because it's important to get a little bit of context here. Kamala didn't want to go on Rogan for, I don't know, various reasons. But Fetterman went on Rogan for 2 hours. Now, Fetterman had a brain injury, and he was still able to go on Rogan. So what's the excuse for Kamala? All right, let me get this lined up here. We got Fetterman or Fetterwoman. Shout out to Fetterwoman. Yeah, shout out to him. All right, let's play Fetterman. Then we're going to get into some other stuff.
There's a significant number of these people that are illegal immigrants that have made their way to swing states. And then there's been calls for amnesty. There's been calls for allowing these people to have a pathway to citizenship and allow them to vote.
Fair use, Joe. Fair use. And shout out to Joe Rogan's podcast. He's been good. I've not gotten any kind of copyright claims or anything like that from them. So shout out to them for letting us rock and do some reactions. I appreciate you, Joe. Thank you.
The fear that a lot of people have is that this is a coordinated effort to take these people that you're allowing to come into the country, then you're providing them with all sorts of services like food stamps and housing and setting them up, and then providing a pathway to amnesty, and then you would have voters that would be significantly voting towards the Democrats because they're the people that enabled them to come into the country in the first place and provided them with those services. This is a big fear that people have, and that you're rigging this system and that this will turn all these states into essentially locked blue like California.
Now, before we continue, the way that this podcast was done, there was live captioning done for Fetterman, because he had a stroke and had a literal brain injury, so he needs captions to follow along, because when you're talking to him, his brain injury kind of, from what I was able to read and from what I was able to hear, he's having a hard time processing your words accurately. So the captioning just helps him. He says it's the equivalent of wearing glasses. You can see, but you can see better with the glasses. You're not blind without, okay, I take these off, I can still see, but I can't see clearly. Same thing with the captions. It helps him to think clearly and understand you better. So that's how the podcast was able to be done. 2 hours, Fetterman was on the podcast, but Kamala can't do 1 hour.
Yes.
Well, immigration is always going to be a tough issue in our nation. I had as a professor in grad school, Alan Simpson, and he was a United States senator. He was Wyoming, and he was actually a pro-choice Republican. I mean, how rare that would be. Well, it doesn't exist now. And he said, you are never going to have any meaningful immigration kinds of legislation. He's like, because both sides, that's useful for them, and it's going to be back and forth. And he said that 25 years ago.
Useful meaning the debate, having it always a political
it's
talking
useful
point.
for one side or the other. It's
right.
Now, let me pause right here. What he's saying is right to a certain extent. You're not going to have legislation because the border will be open to a certain extent. You're going to allow in some migrants, but it's not going to be the way it is right now. The way it is right now, they're aggressively keeping the border open and allowing more to come in that would normally come in. Remember, under Trump, they had about 2.1 to 2.4 million border encounters documented compared to 8.7 million, which was recorded in August of this year. From the time that Biden-Harris took over until August, 8.7 million border crossings documented compared to 2.1 to 2.4 for the entirety of Trump's presidency. So there's a lot more border encounters because they just want more people to come in. That's all that it is to it. And ultimately, it's about cheap labor. You got to be honest. The United States was built on slavery. That was the whole model of it. So when slavery got abolished, now it's like, okay, what do we do for these low-paid jobs? And that was the argument back then from the Democrats, of course, because the Republicans were the anti-slavery people. The first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, frees the slaves. Then he gets killed for freeing the slaves immediately afterward in a movie theater. They love theaters. But anyway, that's the reality. So they've been trying to replace that labor ever since. And the way they do it right now is with the migrants. Right. And Trump was against that which is part of the reason why they don't like him. They like slavery. Trump doesn't. And it's the same old song and dance. Abraham Lincoln, they popped him. They tried to pop Trump and couldn't do it because Guy intervened.
Useful, and he said there were never going to be, and he said that in 1999, and I voted for the border deal, and that went down, and that's, I mean, he said that 25 years ago, and that was absolutely true now, that they had an opportunity to do a comprehensive border, bipartisan, and that went down because Trump he declared that's a bad deal after it was negotiated with the other side.
But didn't that deal also involve amnesty, and didn't that deal also involve a significant number of illegal aliens being allowed into the country every year? I think it was 2 million people. So it was still the same sort of situation, and their fear is exactly what I talked about, that these people will be moved to swing states, and that will...
Of course, that's part of it as well, the voting. I mean, really, they just want to cheat labor, but if they can get the votes too, then that's a win-win for them. They're able to stay in power forever, and they're able to get the cheap labor. They're able to kind of like make slavery be permanent, having a permanent underclass. So that class will always do these low-paid jobs. That's the whole purpose.
Will be used to essentially rig those states and turn them blue forever.
Well, I'm not really sure if that's what's in play. I think it's really like it's important that we have to have an honest conversation.
But doesn't that seem logical, though? If you have a significant number of people that are being moved into swing states that have come across the border illegally, and then you've provided them with all these services, you provided them with food stamps, EBT, you've provided them with housing. You could, if you gave those people amnesty and allowed those people to vote, and it was very organized. You're talking about 75,000 votes over a few counties that switched everything over to the Republicans. You could see how you import 10 million people over the course of 4 years illegally, and then move a significant number of them to swing states, and then provide them with all these services.
Exactly. Now, there's more to the clip, but I ain't going to, play the entire thing. Shout out to Joe Rogan, and shout out to Fetterman. Again, Kamala, matter of fact, let me just play that again so we get the full context about Kamala and that whole situation.
The Joe Rogan experience.
These guys are coming here. I'm like, I love these guys so much. Too bad. It's just this at 9 in the morning, an opportunity to come in. Someone's
to get Kamala Harris on.
I was not going to do that. I would have had to. I knew you guys flew from England, and I wasn't going to cancel on you because she had an opportunity to come in. You could look at this and you say, oh, you're being a diva. But she had an opportunity to come here when she was in Texas, and I literally gave them an open invitation. I said, anytime. I said, if she's done at 10 o'clock, we'll come back here at 10 o'clock. I go, I'll do it at 9 in the morning. I'll do it at 10 p.m. I'll do it at midnight. If she's up. She wants to, drink a Red Bull, fucking party on.
Yeah, but I think this idea that you're being a diva is silly because you're offering her the opportunity to do exactly what the other candidate did, right?
Well, she actually reached out when she found out that he was coming on. So their camp reached out to me. So I said, great, I would love to talk to her. But it was very difficult to tie it down, and they wanted to travel. And see, the thing is, like, you can't, if I go somewhere, then there's going to be other people in the room. And they want to control a lot of things, I'm sure, according to the Brett Breyer interview on Fox. Like, people were waving him off. That's a distraction. People in the room, like, my whole goal with her and with him is just talk. Just have a conversation like a human being. You find out things about people. You get a sense of them, at least, a real sense. That was it. I don't give a fuck what we talk.
Sorry about the cussing, but you get the idea. They want to do too much stuff. They wanted to be like a controlled environment, so you could go in there, try to just, they wanted to use Rogan and his platform without allowing Rogan to do what he does on the show. Listen, if anyone wants to come talk on my show, I'm going to do my show the same way for everybody. I won't be unfair to anyone, nor will I be favorable to anyone. I'll give everybody the same treatment. That's how I would do it. And I think Joe is on the same page. So the Kamala thing is ridiculous. 1 hour. Come on. If Fetterman literally had a stroke and a brain injury and is able to go talk for 2 hours, you could do 1 hour. So yeah, that's crazy. But anyway, I digress. My main man, our guy JD Vance was on Rogan as well.
I took the vax, and I haven't been boosted or anything, but the moment where I really started to get red pilled on the whole vax thing was the sickest that I've been in the last 15 years by far was when I took the vaccine. And I've had COVID at this point 5 times. I was in bed for 2 days. My heart was racing. I was like, the fact that we're not even allowed.
Hold on, he said he had COVID 5 times.
The sickest that I've been in the last 15 years by far was when I took the vaccine. And I've had COVID at this point 5 times. I was in bed for 2 days. My heart was racing. I was like, the fact that we're not even allowed to talk about that, even, no like serious injury, but even the fact that we're not even allowed to talk about the fact that I was as sick as I've ever been for 2 days, and the worst COVID experience I had was like a sinus infection. I'm not really willing to trade that. And
Now, okay, this was posted by Kamala's people, Kamala HQ. And they caption it, it says, Vance says he has been red-pilled about vaccines because he felt sick after he got a vaccine. And then they say, this is how vaccines work. Now, is that how it works? Do you get sick after a vaccine? So if you get sick after the vax, does that mean it's working? Now, when you say sick, what does that mean? He's talking about sinus infection, whatever. But how about myocarditis? If my heart starts to function irregularly, does that mean the vaccine is working? If I pass out and have a stroke or something like this, does that mean the vaccine is working? If I get injured from the vax, that means it's working? I'm just like, let's be clear. Is myocarditis normal to get from a vaccination? I'm just I'm asking for a friend. Maybe you guys know, but I'm not really sure. Also, 5 times, I don't understand how people get COVID so much. I don't really get it. I don't understand. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, traveling. I mean, I travel. I've been flying all over the country. Ain't no drive. I drive a lot. I be in gas stations, straight eating food from you know what I mean? Never had a problem. I've been good. I had a cold a couple times, but that was it. Maybe I had C-19, but because it was a cold, really, it doesn't really matter. You do the same thing you do when you get a cold. In my opinion, COVID-19 is nothing but the rebranded flu, cold, whatever. I mean, they tell you in the name, coronavirus, head virus is what it means. Head cold. They shut the whole world down for a head cold, which is crazy. But anyway, now speaking about JD Vance, Tavis Smiley, you may know who that is. Maybe you don't. Old school guy, black guy, been around for a long time. A liberal guy, but I think Obama had a beef with him, so he kind of got X'd out of a lot of things during that time. But anyway, he got on CNN and said that Joe Rogan has mommy issues. Now, we know Joe Rogan's mom had dealt with addiction, so that's pretty low to go on TV and call somebody's mom a dope fiend, basically. But let's watch this.
It's a bunch of silliness, but to your point, Abby, your comment a moment ago that got me when you said he's coming after the men too. I think JD Vance has mommy issues, and it's been fascinating for me to watch the way this has played out.
Is that funny? That's funny. Really, they laughed about that. Okay.
On the campaign trail, and because of those issues, he has subjected women across this country to all his bad ideas and all his bad policy. Maya Angelou once told me that processing pain without perpetuating pain is rough business. So if you got mommy issues and you make everybody else in the country subject to that, that's a real problem.
But where are you getting that from? Where does a mommy issue thing come from? How does that? I think you're just trying to attack him. You're just trying to insult him. You're just trying to attack his mom because you don't like him. That's what it seems like.
But to your point, now he's coming after the men. I remember an episode of This American Life years ago where the staff all took testosterone tests. And when the results came in, the male host of that show, Ira, had the highest testosterone. And the executive producer of that show, a woman, had the highest level of testosterone, which suggests to me that
this conversation.
That's the big dog just rule, male or female. The big dog.
They're bad people. They don't understand how they sound at this table. They don't get how they sound at this table. And shout out to Michael Singleton and Coleman, but they need better guys. They need, not even me. They don't want me on there because I'm too masculine. I'm too big. My voice is too like. I wouldn't do well on CNN. They want guys that are kind of a little bit more subdued. Shermichael is a cool guy. I like Shermichael, Coleman, but these are like kind of smaller guys. They like guys that they think that are weaker. I'm not saying they are, but they think they are. So they're able to be on there and just kind of, I don't know. I don't like CNN. I don't like TV. It's a weird place. It's not reality. It's strange. But I think you guys recognize that, which is why alternative media is the thing right now. It's in vogue right now. Yeah, too manly. It's too much. Yeah, they don't like guys like me. I've been around some of these people. They're afraid of me. It's like I'm Gucci Man. Like when Gucci was in Atlanta robbing people, I feel like that. Because I'm like his same size. So they're automatically afraid of me. But guys where they feel like they can kind of, they're not scared of them. Older guys that they think are kind of beyond their prime. I'm not saying they are, but that's how they think. And it's really not really good. This was funny right here. So Trump was talking about Liz Cheney. Now, Liz Cheney is a war hawk, but a chicken hawk, meaning she'll be all gung-ho about going to war, but if it was her having to do it, she doesn't want to do it. So Trump was making that point on stage, Tucker Carlson. Now, the media are trying to say he was trying to incite violence against Liz Cheney. That's what they're going to say. Okay. Let's watch the clip, and then we're going to see what Aaron Rupar put as a caption. And this is a general caption that the media is going to run with. He says, Trump on Liz Cheney. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with about 9 barrels shooting at her. Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
And I don't blame him for sticking with his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face.
So they're trying to say that he's inciting violence against Liz Cheney. But really, he's saying that she's a chicken hawk and doesn't want to do what she wants us to do, which is to go to war. All right. Now, Joe Walsh, out of everybody in the world, had to defend Trump on this. Joe Walsh. Now, let's read what Joe Walsh put. Trump did not call for Liz Cheney to be executed. This is what's so wrong with our politics today. Look, you know how I feel about Trump, and I've been out there every day for 2 to 3 months campaigning my hind parts off to help get Kamala Harris elected. But this short clip is so deceptive. Trump is not calling for Liz Cheney to be executed in front of a firing line. He's not. Listen to the entirety of what he said. In Trump's typically stupid, ugly fashion, he's trying to make a point about Cheney's stance on war. But Aaron, who I can respect, by posting only this 11-second clip, makes it look like he's calling for her to be executed. He's not. He's an utterly horrible human being who is utterly unfit for office, but the truth should always matter. And the truth is that Trump is not calling for Liz Cheney to be executed, but this is 11-second clip, will have a gazillion views, and the truth just have a handful of views. Even the Joe Walsh, who hates Trump, big time never Trumper, he may have a mild case of TDS, a treatable case of TDS. Tylenol, Flintstones, vitamins, you get money after TDS when it's a mid grade. Okay, if you got a high grade level, I don't know what you do. You better talk to God because he could be the only one that can save you at that point. But even he had to recognize how dishonest the media is with that clip. It's simple. Anyone who does not have TDS, who can see things clearly, would know he was not trying to incite violence against Liz Cheney. But hey, it is what it is. The media, that's why the media sucks, right? Because it keep putting out a bunch of nonsense. All right, now, let's go to my man Mark Cuban, talking about the women next to Trump are dumb and weak. All right, check it out.
Donald Trump, you never see him around strong, intelligent women, ever. It's just that simple. They're intimidating to him. He doesn't like to be challenged by them.
Kaylee. Mark Cuban. Okay, I had to take a breath before this. because this is so profoundly offensive. I worked for Donald Trump. I consider myself a strong woman. I consider those around me strong women. Kellyanne Conway, Brooke Rollins, Ivanka Trump, Hope Hicks, Sarah Sanders. That's before we get to the women that Donald Trump elevated to very high levels, like Nikki Haley, who still supports him, like Amy Coney Barrett, who he put on the Supreme Court, or the women currently around him. Susie Wiles comes to mind, Caroline Leavitt. That is so offensive. And you know why? Because it's not just about the women who worked for him. He said the women around Donald Trump. This comes right after the Joe Biden garbage comment. Okay, the women around Donald Trump. What about the women who vote for Donald Trump? Are they weak? Are they dumb? Did Mark Cuban just insult any woman who supports Donald Trump? Because it's a little, very small step from that. And this is an official Harris campaign surrogate, Mark Cuban. That is misogynistic in my view. Get out of here, Mark Cuban. Kamala Harris, he's your surrogate. I want to hear from you. Do you agree the women are weak and ineffective, whatever he said? Get out of here. And I can't wait to hear from you, Kamala.
Yeah, look.
So shout out to Kelly McEnany. Shout out to her. Hold on. It's crazy how much they will insult all of us. They will insult people in general and then say we're the bad ones. So yeah, Mark Cuban. Oh, and let's not forget about Mark Cuban, shall we? Remember, Mark Cuban has some issues of his own dealing with women back in the day. This is 2018. Look at this. Mavs owner Mark Cuban donates $10 million after workplace probe. I think that was like a Me Too situation. What Mark Cuban learned from the Mavericks Me Too scandal. Treating people equally doesn't mean treating them the same. All right. So you had a Me Too situation, allegations, rumors, all of that against men and women allegedly from back in the day, way back in the day. But here you are wanting to talk about strong women, weak women. Sir, come on, man. The Glass House situation. Young Thug. I already covered Young Thug. I did. But I want to play this. I've not seen it. This is Breakfast Club.
I will say, too, his judge.
What if we find out that judge got so much Young Thug on her playlist? I will say
she is an upstanding. She's the upstanding citizen. She did her thing about making it fair.
Thug has 6 kids, and I'm happy he's home to see those kids. But you know, something that you said earlier, Charlamagne, and I was talking about last night. I wonder if Thug will be able to perform his old songs.
Oh, because some of them got that slack, the YSL,
the slang, and the you know, the quote unquote.
So maybe some of you guys who follow in the case can help me out. But did they say he can't perform some of his songs because of the lyrics? And what they're talking about right now, the slack, all of that, that's like, they're saying that's gang lingo. So if his songs have some of the gang lingo in it, he can't perform it. How does that really work? Now, that right there is a violation of freedom of speech. If you give me a court order that says I can't perform my songs because of the words that's in it, or else I get locked up, that is a violation of your rights. 100%. 100%. It says you cannot get locked up for unpopular speech, unpopular opinion. You can't. Now, look, if in my raps, I'm saying some things like I'm confessing to crimes, okay, you could look at my lyrics. You might try to put the pieces together. If you're able to find evidence I did something, present the evidence in court and lock me up. But you can't stop me from saying it. You can't just lock me up for saying it. That is not what we do in this country.
Gang stuff in his songs, but that's how he would make his money. Like, that's his catalog. He can't. He
better bleep stuff out. Honestly, if I was him, I wouldn't even play them games. He asked in court as well. Can he be able to work with his brother and Gunna, which was a big deal.
Oh, that Gunna apology tour gonna be so hilarious.
Make the new music. We know. We can play your old songs for you. Okay. I don't even want him to play no games with nothing. I will say too. Last night, Mariah the Scientist was here in New York with Lotto.
Okay, before they even get into that stuff, y'all know about the whole thing about Young Thug is my man right here at the top. And shout out to his lawyer, Brian Steele. Brian Steele, again, the new Rob Kardashian, the new Johnny Cochran. This guy's going to be big, real big, after this case. The thing about him, this was a Fani Willis case. She tried to take down an Atlanta menace, allegedly, but the case was so poorly operated. It was such weak evidence. It was a terrible case. And some are going to say, well, look, ABL, this guy's a criminal. He should be in jail, blah, blah, blah. I understand if you think that he should be locked up. But that's not how we do things in this country. You see, we have a legal system. We have a thing called a trial, and you got to present evidence. You got to prosecute the case. And then upon successful prosecution, the person goes to prison, jail, whatever. They get sentenced, and that's it. But you have to prosecute successfully. And if you can't, then that's on you. And if it's such an open and shut case, if he's an obvious criminal, then it shouldn't be a difficult. If he's an obvious criminal, you should be able to go get the evidence, present it in court, and convince the jury that he did it. This guy was facing 45 years in the penitentiary, racketeering, murder, drugs, all of that. There was an open drug deal in court where Thug took something from somebody, some kind of pill or something from somebody in court, and it was on camera. You have evidence, you say. You have all the facts, you say. Although he's facing 45 years on some kind of RICO conspiracy, all it does is time served, no prison time, after a guilty plea. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. 2.5 years, tens of millions of dollars, and nothing to show for it. Why? Because Fani Willis brought the case forward trying to boost her name up. It wasn't about justice. It wasn't about that. It was about Fani. I want to be the next mayor. I want to be the next governor. I want to be a senator. I want to be on the Supreme Court next to Ketanji Brown Jackson. She thought that for real. She thought that if she got popular enough, she could ascend to be on the Supreme Court. Going back to where she's from, Washington, D.C. It was never going to happen. It was a whole big mess. All she did was get used to try and get Trump out of the way, to try and drain his resources, and to stop him from campaigning. That's all that happened. And as a result, the Trump case dead, this case dead. And I hope that she gets locked up, because this was 1,000% prosecutorial misconduct all the way. All right. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, Faith is something else. So y'all know Fani. She was allegedly with this guy by the name of Donovan Big Nut Thomas. Now, Nut, that's his name. I ain't going to call him that. I'm going to call him Donovan. Donovan got deleted back in, I think, 2015, allegedly by YSL. And the guy who they think pulled the trigger is a guy by the name of YSL Woody. You guys may have seen him on TikTok. He's really popular right now with Charleston White, doing a 20 versus 1. That's him. Bald head dude, kind of buff a little bit. That's Woody. Now, he was in court acting the fool, and that just made him popular. All that the case did was made him a TikTok star, speaking about Woody, and that was it. It didn't do anything else. It drained resources. It drained a lot of money. Fani was able to get a lot of money from the case, and Trump, and maybe in this case as well. But that's it. That is all. That's all. And nothing came of it. Now, speaking about rappers and whatnot, Cardi B endorsed Kamala at a rally in Milwaukee, but the teleprompter broke. Uh-oh.
1 second, guys. 1 second.
So we awkwardly wait while the teleprompter gets rebooted.
Okay. So I don't take lightly the call. Sorry, guys. I'm a little nervous. Guys. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
A whole minute of trying to be out there filibustering because the teleprompter broke. So rather than a teleprompter working, we got a cell phone, and she's reading from the phone. I have never seen this before. Listen, if you want me to think that you're going to have an efficient presidency, things will be running properly, maybe try having your equipment work at the rally, just maybe. I don't want to see nobody reading from a phone at the podium when you have teleprompters right there. You got two of them, and they're both broken, and you got to do this. Not a very good look.
And everything is possible. Shout out to the single moms out there, but it's hard. Trump says
Having a hard time reading as well. Okay. Now, if you're gonna pick somebody to speak for you, I got a couple requests. Just maybe 2 requests. First, maybe if you got kind of a violent criminal background, maybe you shouldn't be speaking. You know, drugging and robbing guys, allegedly. She said it out of her mouth, not me. And then you having a hard time reading. That's a bad combination.
He's going to protect women whether they like it or not. Well, if his definition of protection is not the freedom of choice, if his definition of protection is making sure our daughters have fewer rights than our mothers, then I don't want it! I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. We all knew Trump was a hustler. But hustling women, and I'm a hustler too, yeah. But hustling women out of their rights to their body is nasty work. Hustling Americans.
Did you write the word nasty work in that, or was that written for you?
Americans out of their hard-earned money by selling Trump watches, Trump sneakers, and Trump Bibles. By the way, the watches is $100,000. Yeah. Made in China, another country he discredited, is nasty too.
All righty, so there we go. That is Cardi B, the brilliant words of the most intelligent rapper in the world, Bacardi. You know, that's where that name comes from, right? Bacardi, like Cardi B, Cardi, but Bacardi, the drink. And she has a sister named Hennessy. So Hennessy and Bacardi, that's their names. All righty, there we go. Let's keep on rocking. And we got more from a Kamala rally. You want to see what we do at a Kamala rally? Not we, but you want to see how they get down on the Kamala rally? There we go. We got Glorilla.
60,000 fans came to see me do my thing. Got 1,000,001 haters, and they y'all can kiss my. Milwaukee, thank y'all. Make sure y'all go out and vote. I love y'all.
I mean, how many rappers can you have come at your... The only reason why anybody would go to these rallies is for the rappers, for the musical performances. That's it. I mean, who wants to go see Kamala Harris at all? I don't want to go see Glorilla or Bacardi, and I definitely don't want to see Kamala. Now, let's go. Speaking about... Let's go to Kamala. Let's go straight to Kamala and see what you got going on.
That is called Bidenomics. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
The October job reports just released. It shows the U.S. added only 12,000 jobs last month.
Look, in October, they estimated 113,000 jobs added, but there was only 12,000 jobs added in October. This is past October. It just passed us a couple of days ago. 12,000 jobs in October. Bidenomics, is that working? There's 12,000 jobs, 101,000, pardon me, 101,000 jobs than estimated. Is that a good economy? Is that Bidenomics in action?
That's about 100,000 fewer than economists expected. That's unbelievable.
One of the most successful administrations in generations.
And the unemployment rate held at a steady 4.1%.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics.
So, yeah, there we go. There we go. Not a very good thing. 100,000 jobs, fewer than expected. From 113 to 12,000. All right, now, do you guys think that Kamala drinks? If she drinks, what is the drink of choice? We talking about boxed wine? We talking about straight shots of liquor? Like, what's going on with this lady? I mean, I can't say that if she's a drunkard or not, but something ain't right.
Part of the thing that I'm trying to help people, not who are here, obviously, not the leaders who are here, but others understand, is if you're trying to kind of figure out what the stakes are, just imagine the Oval Office, we've all seen it on TV, and just imagine on January 20th. Part of the thing that I'm trying to help people, not who are here, obviously, not the leaders who are here, but others understand.
Something ain't right. Something is not right with this lady. She sounds like if she talks for any longer, she's going to just let out a big burp like Barney from The Simpsons. Okay? And she'll have a cup, like a mug with X's on the front, like the cartoons. Okay? It'd be a big mason jar with X's on it. She'll have that in her bag. Rather than the hot sauce Hillary Clinton had, she has a big flask with 3 X's on the front, like it's poison. She's going to drink that all day long. That's kind of what I assume that Kamala Harris does with her free time. Now, what's going on right here in this clip? Let's see.
You know what? Let me say something about this. We're here because we're fighting for a democracy. Fighting for a democracy. And understand the difference here. Understand the difference here. Moving forward. Moving forward. Understand the difference here. What we are looking at is a difference in this election. Let's move forward and see where we are. Because on the issue, for example, of freedom of choice, that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's okay. Says, you know what? Let me say.
Okie dokie. So I don't know what was going on there. Maybe somebody was in the crowd acting up. But she doesn't really do well under pressure, as we all know. Which is why when talking about Joe Rogan, she wants to go to a controlled environment and control the situation rather than just letting him do his thing. Rather than just letting him do what he wants to do.
Some progress.
All right. Now, he's talking about Liz Cheney right here because people don't like Liz Cheney. I don't like Liz Cheney. A lot of her colleagues are not fans of Liz Cheney. So here she is defending Liz Cheney.
Some progressives are uncomfortable with Liz Cheney. Should they still feel as though you want their vote and they are a part of the Democratic coalition?
Well, let me start by saying that I think Liz Cheney has shown extraordinary courage.
Some progressives.
All right, there we go. So that's the typical answering. You know, hey, Kamala, prices are high. It's a mess. What are you going to do? First of all, I come from a middle-class family, and I know what the middle class is like because I come from a middle-class family. So that's my plan, you know, because I come from a middle-class family. I was like, okay, cool, but the economy, crazy prices. Oh, we're going to do price gouging controls. We're going to put price caps on things. That'll work. Well, that's been tried, and it's failed. How would it work better this time? Look, we're just going to do it. You just got to do it. She's terrible. Also, here she is doing the same scripted motions in different places, the same speech, the same motion, the same everything. Can you do a new speech? Can you do different motions, something?
Anybody here already voted? Oh my goodness. That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody here already voted?
Now, Kamala, what are we doing? The same line. I could understand if it was a closing statement, make America great again, something like this. I could see if it's something like that. Or how I close my videos, something like a closing, like couple little words. But this is just a part of it where you say something and then you react a certain kind of way. All right. Now, that right there, what does that remind me of? Hey, the face on the right-hand side in the black. Do you think about any particular person when you see that face? Like, I want y'all to let me know. The Scream mask, maybe, that's one of them, but there's somebody else who did a similar thing. All right. I'm going to let it sit for a second, and then I'm going to show you exactly what I think this comes from. All right. Now, remember this? Remember Hillary Clinton with the balloons and all that? Same old thing. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I told y'all that Kamala ain't nothing but Hillary Clinton 2.0. the Temu, listen, if you order Hillary Clinton on Temu, you're going to get Kamala Harris in full cackle. Okay? That's what you're going to get. If you order Hillary Clinton on Temu, you're going to get Kamala Harris in the full cackle right at your front door. That's what you're going to get. It's crazy how much they're so similar. I don't even understand how they make the same face like that. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. That's like, what's going on? What is happening? Somebody said that gumball comes out. That's hilarious. Y'all are funny. Y'all are too funny in the comments. Shout out to y'all. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these internets. Now, speaking about goofballs and whatnot, Tampon Tim. Rah, rah, sis boom, bye. Now, can somebody explain the whole leg kick thing? Why does Tim Walz insist on kicking his leg up like this? Is there a reason for that? I'm just trying to figure it out. And there he is again with the same thing. See? Like, what are we doing, Tim? Tim, I don't get it. It's these people, man. A very bad VP pick. But I'm not here to try and make them make the correct decisions. I say keep on doing the wrong thing, because the more you do the wrong thing, the more it's right for me. So it's all good. All right.
And so because of that, now what we're seeing, what he means is women are turned away from emergency rooms and miscarriaging in parking lots, whether they like it or not. Survivors of rape and incest are being forced to carry those pregnancies to term, whether they like it or not. Fertility clinics have turned couples away at the door, whether they like it or not. And so because
this is a mess, a lot of lies in there. Listen, the Democratic Party's chief platform is the right to delete babies. That's their chief platform. Deleting babies. That's all they want to do. So if that's the best you got, deleting babies, you don't have the economy, you don't have anything. The border, you don't have anything. You don't have anything for the crime, the border, the economy. All you can say is you could delete babies up until, I guess, the point of birth. Because Trump himself said he's in favor of the 3 exceptions. But they say, I guess, you could do it whenever, wherever. That's all they got. Not a very good platform. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Now, the squirrel thing, I've seen the whole squirrel issue. Can I play that right quick? The whole squirrel kerfuffle. Now, there was a squirrel that got deleted by New York's government because the squirrel became famous on Instagram or TikTok, one of these places. The squirrel became social media famous, right? Now, people, of course, are going to hate on the squirrel. I don't know. Listen, I don't know how sad you got to be in your life to call the police on a pet squirrel. I mean, come on. Come on. A squirrel? We calling the police over squirrels? I understand you can't have wild animals, all this, that, and the third, but I think a squirrel might be a little bit low on the priority list of things you got to worry about. Just maybe. Just maybe. Let's watch some of this, shall we? Let's watch this.
Feeding all of our 71 rescue horses at our nonprofit Animal Rescue. Midway through that, a line of DEC officers, about 6 to 8 of them, showed up and gave me a warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon.
The search warrant said Longo was in unlawful possession of wildlife. He says agents ransacked his property for 5 hours until they found Peanut and Fred the raccoon.
We complied. We weren't allowed to move. We were police escorted into the bathroom. Mind you, this is a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And I feel like this was a little bit of an overkill.
Longo says he was working on the necessary paperwork to be able to legally own Peanut as an educational animal.
You're not only hurting my family by taking Peanut away from me, but you're also hurting the organization that we started on the back of a rescue squirrel. We named this organization Peanut's Freedom Farm because he has been such a big portion of my life and so many people around the world. You know, we promoted the fact that squirrels are not good pets. They don't deserve to be inside, but there are rare occasions where you stumble on an animal that unfortunately can't survive in their normal habitat. That's the only reason why Peanut was ever a rescue animal.
Longo says he rescued Peanut 7 years ago in New York City after the squirrel's mom was hit by a car. He says he rehabbed Peanut and tried to release him into his backyard. But Longo says Peanut never developed the instincts to survive outside. After Peanut was attacked by an animal and lost half his tail, Longo let Peanut live in his home.
And then he became best friends with my cat. So that's when we turned to social media. We put some funny and silly videos out there, and the internet loved him. He became the world's most famous squirrel.
Peanut racked up a combined 3 million followers on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. Longo says he believes Peanut's fame led to someone filing a complaint.
I'm no expert in anything involving politics of the state, but they sent 6 to 8 officers to my house from Albany.
6 to 8 officers from the Capitol for a squirrel and a raccoon? Really? Really? Listen, y'all know I got swatted years ago, right? Some of y'all were here when that happened. When that happened, I had 6 cops on my back door, guns drawn for a swatting. And that was when somebody said that I had a 13-year-old tied up and bleeding or something like this crazy. Okay. So for a raccoon and a squirrel, they're bringing SWAT level cops to your front door
to confiscate a squirrel and a raccoon, and it was signed off on a search warrant. So just that in its sense, to say that is one of the most shocking things I could say, in my opinion, is we just used resources and spent an entire day sitting 2 people who run a nonprofit animal rescue and treat them like criminals.
Totally nuts. Totally nuts. All that over a pet squirrel and the raccoon. And the raccoon, I don't know about the raccoon, but the squirrel was euthanized to test it for rabies. I mean, I don't have any words, man. That's a government overreach all day long. 100% all day long. So he rehabbed the squirrel. The squirrel couldn't survive outside. Because somebody's going to say, oh, well, the squirrel shouldn't have been in the house. Well, he tried to release the squirrel outside, but the squirrel couldn't survive. It's just like you have a zoo animal or something like this raised in captivity. They can't survive out there in the wild, so they put them in captivity. Like, the most they should have done was maybe put them in a reserve or something, or just let the squirrel be in there. The squirrel wasn't going to be around that much longer anyway. So crazy. They euthanized a squirrel to test it for rabies when it wasn't harming nobody. It wasn't a problem. You got these haters that are calling the police because they don't like seeing this squirrel's antics on Instagram. Yeah, and the raccoon. So was the raccoon also euthanized, or was it just a squirrel? It's totally nuts. It wasn't the federales. It was the state government from the Capitol, from Albany. Yep, it was a mess. All right. Now, there's more from that story. I'm going to play a little bit more here. This is from TMZ.
We just learned that they have euthanized Peanut.
And the raccoon as well.
And the raccoon as well.
So the raccoon got euthanized too. So they killed both of their pets for what?
I am so sorry. This must be really difficult for you.
It not only tears my family apart, but Peanut was the cornerstone of our nonprofit animal rescue. And 10 to 12 DEC officers raided my house as if I was a drug dealer. I was sat outside my house for 5 hours. I had to get a police escort to my bathroom. I wasn't even allowed to feed my rescue horses breakfast or lunch. I was sat there like a criminal after they interrogated my wife to check out her immigration status.
Oh my God. Whoa. Immigration in New York, where they got a migrant crisis. What? Over a squirrel? A squirrel and a raccoon? So let me get this straight, New York. Again, this is New York State. You have officers that came from Albany to this man's rescue farm or whatever. They're checking his wife's immigration status. What's it got to do with the squirrel and the raccoon? And you got all these migrants in New York City all over the place cooking food outside, doing whatever they want to do, smoking crack, doing whatever. You want to check her status? Oh, I mean, I'm really kind of speechless.
Asked me if I had cameras in my house, then proceeded to go through every cabinet, nook, and cranny of my house for a squirrel and a raccoon.
They got a search warrant?
They got a search warrant. 4 departments and a judge signed off on a search warrant for a squirrel and a raccoon. And then they took them and killed them.
Why did they go through all that to get a search warrant for an animal that had been with you?
It's just overkill. No pun intended. It's just they're doing way too much.
Very safely and
Oh, I definitely would sue. Bless, I definitely would sue. I'm suing everybody involved.
World witnessed this for 7 years. Why now suddenly did they show up with a search warrant and take these animals?
We haven't a clue. We don't know who made the complaints. Again, Peanut was an indoor squirrel, not harming anybody. He's been with us for 7 years. Not a single complaint was ever filed for this animal. We had him for 7.5 years. He became the world's most famous squirrel. We weren't hiding him by any means. He was all over TikTok. He became the first squirrel on TikTok to ever hit 1 million followers. He did every news station around the world. He's helped people.
I got to pause for TMZ.
He's helped kids gather joy. And then we started a nonprofit animal rescue called Peanut's Freedom Farm to help animals like Peanut fight a good fight when they're in a neglected case or they're sitting in a slaughter auction. And he was the cornerstone of our life and our organization. We used his platform to help raise money for the 300 animals we have at our sanctuary.
300 animals at a sanctuary. Like these guys, and look, these people, the husband, wife, everybody, these guys are doing the Lord's work, doing good work, rescuing animals, rehabbing them, taking care of them. You're going to call the police and you're going to have the pets deleted. I mean, that's crazy. Totally nuts. So yeah, RIP Peanut. RIP. All right. So yeah, shout out to Peanut. Indoor squirrel, house squirrel, chilling, minding his business. It's crazy. I mean, the things they're worried about. Checking the wife's immigration status. Check the status of the immigrants outside in New York City on the ground, cooking food, doing whatever they want to do. That's right, Jesse M. They could do it to anyone. They can do it to anyone. Oh yeah, I would sue. I'll most certainly sue, and I'm getting big money at the end of it. So yeah, R.I.P. Eugene, R.I.P. Harambe, R.I.P. Peanut, and what was the raccoon's name? I don't know. But yeah, R.I.P. to the raccoon as well. Now, speaking about migrants and things of this nature, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson wants to raise taxes by $300 million. And hold on, I got to find a better clip because there was one where a reporter was kind of going back and forth a little bit, and I thought it was great. Shout out to the reporters out there for not being afraid to, be vocal about what's going on, because you got to be. You have to be. You got to see what's happening. If you're living in Chicago, I don't know why you're still there, because what's really there for you? They're going to raise taxes to pay for the migrants. And how will the increase in taxes help you? How will the migrants help you? If I'm Brandon Johnson, if I'm Chicago's government, if I'm Illinois' government, I'm not letting this fly. I'm not just going to say, hey, yeah, let me just pay more in taxes. All right. Let me just play this. I can't find the other one.
It is official. If you live in the city of Chicago, Mayor Brandon Johnson wants to increase your property taxes.
That decision is a huge reversal on a campaign promise that helped him make it to the 5th floor of City Hall. Our Sabrina Franza is there live now with the details of his plan. Sabrina.
It is a hard pill to swallow and one of the hardest things to convince City Council of. Mayor Brandon Johnson proposing in his 2025 budget a $300 million property tax increase. He says that is the only way to bridge a budget gap that's nearing $1 billion.
no more disinvestments, no more selling off our public assets. I am saying no to those bad habits.
Mayor Brandon Johnson backtracks on one of his key campaign promises in his second budget address to City Council.
When it came down to either mass layoffs, curbing vital city services, or an increase in property taxes, I would certainly much rather tax the rich. But I did have to make the choice to increase our property taxes.
Tax the rich. All you're going to do, sir, is tax everyone in your city. Everybody's going to feel it.
In his 2025 budget proposal, the mayor is asking City Council to approve $52 million to help connect young people to employment opportunities, $40 million to expand the existing city shelter network to 6,800 beds, $29 million to help households moving from temporary homeless shelters to stable housing, and $2 million to build capacity at 3 new mental health clinics.
Reporting on these numbers means nothing because there's a $1 billion budget shortfall, and they want to partially pay for it by the tax increase or the property taxes. You've already had an increase in property taxes before. I reported on it. Remember, in the south suburbs, they already raised taxes. And I said it back then, it's because of the migrants. And here we are. City of Chicago proper, they're raising taxes as well for the same reason, migrants. In New York City, they had the same problem. What they did was it just cut services by 5-10%, whatever it was. Well, they said they were going to do that. I'm not sure if they did, but that was a proposal. Rather than cutting services, he's going to raise taxes, taxing the rich. It doesn't work. The commie ideas don't work. Yes, Mr. Name, exactly. Like, tax the rich is what he said. Now, here's a video I wanted to play. This is the reporter kind of grilling them about what's going on.
They feel that you are taxing them into financial slavery to pay for migrants. The exact amount of this tax increase that you're proposing is, I think, to the penny, what you've already given to one of the migrant vendors. The migrant vendor named Favorite Healthcare Staffing, not to mention all the other migrant vendors. Wouldn't it make more sense for your tax increase to simply be called a migrant tax on Chicagoans?
Well, if you could just do me a favor, the next time you refer to my wife, refer to her as the First Lady.
What? Sir, we're talking about the migrants and the funding and that thing. So your response is, don't call my wife by her first name? Huh?
I prefer that you not remain so familiar with her that way.
Right.
Fake tough guy, fake Will Smith. What you gonna do? Stop him like Chris Rock?
Okay.
The First Lady and you have a security detail of 200 plus.
Thank you. I've heard your question.
Mayor Johnson.
Security detail of 200 plus CPD officers. Did I hear that right? Hold on. Did I hear that right? A security detail of 200 plus CPD officers. Is that what I heard? 200? No way. Who does he think he is? Barack Obama? Donald Trump?
Chicagoans are very alarmed that at a time when Chicago is clearly fighting for its financial survival, that you're out of state campaigning for Kamala Harris. You are defending Little Dirk. This is your priority. You and your wife, Stacy, have a 200 plus CPD police security detail when real Chicagoans are obviously afraid and victims of violent crime. And of course, they feel that you are taxing them into financial slavery to pay for migrants. The exact amount of the...
Saying thank you for respecting my wife that way.
Right.
As far as the detail is concerned, there are 4 mayors. The detail operation reflects all of the mayors, past and present. The particular portion of my detail is not the size in which you've described. I believe it's less than 30 or so. That there are shifts that are ran, and like every other mayor, that detail is appropriated according to again what every other mayor has had. As far as what this budget is about investing in people. And what's clear in this budget is that we are investing in youth and workforce. And at a time in which, unfortunately, there has been a great deal of real mean-spirited attacks against young black and brown children.
Oh, stop. Man, I'm tired of these soft people, man. Like, we can't have these softies be in leadership roles. It's just not for you. You need to go ahead and I don't know, man.
And so we're increasing our investments in youth in the city of Chicago and workforce as a whole. We're going to continue to build more affordable homes. We've built 3,400 roughly since I've been in office. We're going to continue to respond to the environmental justice that has been the prevailing form of policies for a very long time. And we're going to make sure that we continue to drive public safety.
Okay, I've had enough. This is Kamala word salad type situation. Somebody said he has a wife. Of course he has a wife. One of these she wears the pants in a relationship. Okay, that's obvious. One of these yes dear type dudes. That's him. Anyway. Oh man, that's the mayor of Chicago. So if you're living in Chicago and that's your mayor, I would not have a lot of confidence in the future of your city. I don't have a lot of confidence if that's our guy, if that's the guy. Not very confident. Now, I'm going to play Fat Joe because I know I'm running out of time. I got to get to some calls and everything else. It's to the point where I got so many stories. I need to do some stories tomorrow because I got a lot. I want to do the squirrel story and I want to do another one. I forgot already. But let me just go ahead and put up Fat Joe. Now, Fat Joe is Puerto Rican and Cuban. Hold on. Before I play the Fat Joe thing, I want to show you a childhood picture of Fat Joe. Okay. Let's show a childhood picture of Joseph Cartagena. Okay. Like, I ain't talking about when he was young, real young, whatever. Just, well, I don't mean when he was a teenager. I'm talking about he was like a little boy. Let's play this. And of course, Fat Joe, rapper. He was with Big Pun before he died. R.I.P. Big Pun. Now, somebody tried to tell me that Fat Joe is black. Now, I ain't never in my life seen a black guy looking like Howdy Doody. Looking like, you know what I'm saying? Listen, this kid right here might be something, but the something he's not is black at all. Okay? Let's just be clear. Now that we said that, let's go ahead and just move forward.
It breaks my heart when I see people talk about, and I tell you, if any one of you guys got Puerto Rican friends, when you go over there and you go visit, the first thing they tell you is my island. Yo, you went to my island? You enjoy they tell me that. Like I'm not from Puerto Rico. They be like, my island, you was there. I see the picture, my island. How the hell are they going to call Puerto Rico an island of garbage? Yes. And when I post on my Instagram, these the guys you voting for, and I see Puerto Ricans saying, no, we're still for Trump. 2024. That's the house mentality. Yeah.
Pause right here. A Puerto Rican, not black at all, again, howdy doody at best, leave it to beaver at best, Dennis the Menace at best, says the N-word on stage. That's fine. Now, you in New York, you around black folks, they might give you a pass. But in my neck of the woods, you white guy or not black talking like that, that's not what it's totally frowned upon. Now, personally, I don't use racial slurs at all. So I don't even play that game. So you saying it around me, I'm going to be like, nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Nah. But he says that the other side, the conservatives are the racist ones. But he just says the N-word right on stage.
Yeah. That's the Latino that wish he was white. Right. Those the guys in the comments. You know what I mean? Change their voice up, try to sound white, try to fill in. Those the guys, those are guys I've been fighting my whole life. Because they look at me like, what I am.
Now, what he's not saying here is his childhood experience. Let me tell you how Fat Joe grew up. Now, Fat Joe was Puerto Rican, I think, and Cuban as well. And he grew up in New York City in a 99.99% black neighborhood. So he's a classic, I don't fit in anywhere. He did not fit in with the Puerto Ricans because they saw him as a black person because he grew up around us, right? And in the black community, as a kid, he was beat up every day because he's basically white. And you know how it is, white boy in the hood. You already know how it is. So he didn't fit in anywhere, but he fit in more with the black folks because he was seen as black. So he has to go above and beyond now to try and compensate and be like blackity black, all this, that, and the third. But in the process, he is a racist himself. You see how that works?
He from the mud, and he don't care because Fat Joe really don't care. I'm good with steak and lobster, but I'm good with 4 chicken wing fried rice. I don't give a You could take mine and I'm still here. I'm good in any hood. That's how I feel.
About a week ago, Tavis Smiley, the journalist, had a program in which he said, we're getting closer to the election. Something crazy always happens in October. How long is it going to be before somebody from that camp uses the N-word?
Your man just said it right here on stage. He just said it on stage. You're saying how long before somebody in their camp uses the N-word? Fat Joe just said it, and he's not black. So if you got a problem with the N-word, why you don't got a problem with this person who is not black? Again, howdy doody at best. Leave it to beaver at best. Okay, Archie Buck. Why is it okay? But you got a problem with it. They're so weird. They're really weird. But listen, people understand what the comedian was talking about the problem with the garbage on the island, the overflowing landfills. He wasn't calling Puerto Ricans garbage. But people get so offended and they don't know anything, so they just react without the proper knowledge. Come on, Fat Joe. I need you to tighten up. I need you to get it together. All right? So, yeah, shout out to Fat Joe. Shout out to ignorance is bliss, I suppose. I guess ignorance is bliss. But, yeah, my man, don't try to tell me you're black. He'll swear up and down that he's black because you grew up around black folks. Now, I could live in a white neighborhood, but I'm not white. I'm me. I'm who I am. It is what it is. I could be black neighborhood, white neighborhood. I'm still me. You are still you. But again, you didn't feel accepted by Puerto Ricans because you sound like us, black folks. And around black folks, you had to fight for acceptance because you would get beat up every day. You were the white boy in the hood. You would get beat up every day. That's what that was. You didn't fit in. You were not one of us. So you're trying to find acceptance. You're battling with cultural identity issues still right now to this day. That's all that it is. So yeah, man, get some therapy, get some help and figure it out that way rather than attacking people because they think differently than you do. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And again, a PSA. I'm going to be streaming live on Tuesday, election night. And we're going to be here for as long as it takes. This is going to be fantastic. It's going to be historic. And if you've not voted yet, please do so. If you're going out on the day of, whatever it is, clear your schedule. Make sure everything's in order. You register. You got your ID. Whatever you need, make sure you got it. Don't let these liberal nut jobs act a fool in the line. Don't crash out over no blue-haired weirdo. If you got blue hair, shout out to you. As long as you're not a weirdo. Don't crash out over anybody. Go get your vote in. Handle it that way. But again, we're going to be here live. I got the Kamala. We're going to be here live on Tuesday night, November the 5th, for the election results. What time should I start? 7 p.m. Eastern? Y'all let me know what time I should start the actual stream. And the same way I did back in 2020, I'll be here all night until whenever. It's fine. Y'all let me know. I think 7 p.m., something like that. I might start at 7. It might be a good time. Give me a nice, good meal. Nice and hydrated. I ain't trying to do all that on the stream. I'm trying to be nice and concise with my words. Get plenty of sleep. Yeah, so we're going to do that. So some of you saying 6, some say 7. I think I'm going to schedule it for 7, but I might go a little bit earlier. All right. 8 p.m. won't end. So I think 7. Yeah, that's a good time. 7 o'clock, I'll be here. 7 p.m. on Tuesday night. Tuesday evening. Again, Tuesday, November the 5th, election day, general election day. I've already voted, so I'm good. I've already voted. Polls closed at 8. Yeah, I voted quite a while ago. I'm good to go. So all I'm going to do that day is focus on the stream and getting everything prepared. All right. Hold on. Let's go ahead and get rocking. Now, do the clocks go back tonight or is that on Sunday night? When do the clocks go back? When does daylight saving time, is it end or start? I'm not quite sure what they say as far as the fall. Okay, daylight saving time ends. It ends. So it's going to end on, is it Sunday night? Yeah, so I guess it's tonight. So daylight savings time is tonight, 2 a.m. We're going to lose an hour. Hey, you know what? Whoever invented daylight savings time needs to get waterboarded. I'm going to need that hour back. Sir, whoever you are, I am coming to find you to get to my hour because the hour is missing. I need it back in my life. I cannot deal with the hour. It's going to mess up my heart. I need to get the hour back. I'm going to find you. And I'm going to hurt you very badly. Give me the hour back right to now. I beg you. Okay, shout out to the hour. I need that back. Super chats on deck. Then we're going to get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All righty. So super chats on deck. Let's get to these. Then we're going to get to the calls. Thank you to Michael Critchlow says, did you watch JD Vance on Rogan? Very informative. I did. Shout out to JD Vance. That could Buck versus Windshield, who says, well, judges have been fornicating with the defendant in the Trump trials. It's a standard for Democrats. Thank you to Apple again, who says, RIP Peanut, Squirrel, and Freddie Raccoon, New York, guilty. Shout out to Apple again, who says, please, America, re-elect Trump. Fate of the world's at stake. Thank you to Apple again, who says, guy choked out by Daniel Perry had pulse before he died. Thank you to Apple again, who says, therefore, Alvin Bragg has no case. Free Daniel Perry. Oh, so he didn't die at that moment. Thank you to Eric Scott for your super chat. Do I gain an hour? Am I tripping? Oh. Okay, yeah. That's right. So you fall back, you get another hour. You gain an hour. Okay. In the spring, you lose an hour because you go forward. That's right. Spring forward, fall back. Okay, that's right. Thank y'all. I forgot. I was getting triggered for no reason. Thank you to Apple again, who says, Officer Brett Hankinson found guilty of excessive force at Breonna Taylor. Meantime, Michael Boyd, no charges for deleting Ashley Babbitt. Seek justice. Thank you to Apple again, who says, Jimmy Kimmel told MAGA voters to vote for Trump Thursday or Friday. Doug Mackay, a.k.a. Ricky Vaughn, got SWAT raided for a joke tweet about vote. Two-tier justice, exactly. Thank you to Buffalo Windshield, who says, ad for lesbians cheating. I don't know nothing about that. I guess that was the vote commercial earlier. Shout out to Apple again, who says Han Solo is now Crypt Keeper. Go away, Harry Ford. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, yeah, that's funny. They want to be done with democracy, so they must be up for communism. I hate it. Thank you to Apple again, who says Robert Downey Jr. was a pariah in Hollywood due to his drug habits. The only person to stand by him was Mel Gibson, and now Robert does this. Loser. Apple says, ABL election prediction. What does Community say? The Community loves Trump. The Tavis Smileys of the world, the guys who are seen as soft and effeminate, love Kamala. Thank you to Laura Catherine, who says, each celebrity who endorses Kamala should invite an illegal alien or illegal immigrant to move into their house permanently, rent-free. Exactly. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, Kamala knows broke. That's why she wants us to be broke. Communism, we can all be poor together. No way, Trump 24. Decade of Howie Brown for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I appreciate you, boss. Bo versus Windshield says, most expensive education system in the world does not make it the best education system in the world. We are bad now. Correct. Absolutely correct. I mean, look at Baltimore, Maryland. You know, the dumbest thing in the world is when they say that, oh, we need more investment into education in the community. That's going to help us do better. Baltimore has some of the most funding per pupil in the country, and yet they can't read. Money does not help education. You know what helps? Motivated parents, motivated students, motivated teachers. More than anything, it's the parents, number one. Listen, and if your name is like this, I apologize to you in advance. But off the rip, if your name is Dartavion or something like that, I can assume your parents or your grandma don't care about education at all. So you're not going to do well in school. It doesn't matter how much money you throw at somebody. You can have a great teacher, great school, expensive. You're not going to do well. You know what? I got a lot to say right now, so bear with me. And I'm going to talk a whole lot election night. I'm going to talk my hind parts off election night. But look, when you're talking about these schools and they say school to prison pipeline, the black students are being discriminated against. What the problem is that a lot of the black kids will go to school and they look at school differently. They're disruptive in class. They're not trying to listen. They're not trying to sit down. They're not trying to be involved in the education process in a serious way. Therefore, they get more disciplined. They get put special ed classes because the teachers can't deal with the students' attitude and misbehavior. You might have a class with a bunch of white, Hispanic, other black kids. You got 3 black kids that always act up. So they get put out of the class so the entire class can go forward smoothly and become educated. That's what happens. And again, that starts at home. If the parents don't care, the kids won't care. The teachers can't do anything about that. Except for get your kid out of the class. This is why they don't like school choice, because they don't want your bad kids coming to their school. That's the reason. That's the only reason that they don't like school choice. And I'm not saying all, y'all know what I'm talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So I don't even got to get into the, well, not all. Y'all know what I mean. Anyway, thank you to Howie Brown, who says Destiny's always been a rapping liar. Thank you to Smooth Artist, who says now her phone stinks. yeah, that was crazy from earlier. Thank you to Brian Henderson, who says TDS is real. We need help. We need Jesus in America. Right on. Thank you to Michael Guest, who says there has always been a clear path to citizenship. The migrants chose to enter illegally. Trump 24. Exactly. And shout out to, I see a comment right there. My 13-year-old says I'm on point. Yes. I know it. You know, I've been in school. I didn't seen it. I've been a kid in school trying to learn, and I see the same old disruption. I know exactly how it goes. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says Kamala is a scarecrow and she hasn't got a brain. Elizabeth, thank you for your super chat for the Paul emoji dancing. Shout out to you. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says Fani Willis wanted us to use Kamala Harris diagram to rise to power, prosecute without proof. Oops, lost again. Ryan Henderson says the only rapper I like to see is Snicker Bar. Thank you to Bo versus Windshield, who says those 12,000 jobs went to illegals. He also says illegal immigrants. Thank you to Ryan Henderson, who says Tim was a failed ballerina. He misses his tutu. Exactly. Rah rah sis boom ba. Tim rah rah sis boom ba Walz. Bo versus Windshield says Cammy's economic plan is walk forward and see what happens. That's like Obama's plan of hope. Those are not plans. That's free money for DC insiders. Correct. Smooth Artist says free Diddy, keep Peanut. Right on. Ron Henderson says, What 6 officers for a squirrel and none for illegal aliens? That's why we need Trump back in office. Trump 24. Smooth Artist says, my question now is, can they make peanut butter? I don't know what that means. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says Kamala reportedly going to be on SNL. Oh, man. What, tonight? Oh, my gosh. Please do. I beg. Oh, man. They got to do it. They got to do it. All right. Super chat, thank y'all for that. I appreciate it. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. There's also an email in the description. You could be on the screen right here, bottom left-hand corner. If it doesn't work right, don't blame me. Blame the white man because it ain't my fault. Okay, we're going to blame the white man today. You know, Trump is exempt from being blamed as a white man because he's orange. So if you're orange, you don't qualify as a white man. So we can't blame you for anything that happens. All right. And as a matter of fact, he's part of an extreme minority because orange people are very rare. All right. So Trump is a person of color. He's orange. All right. Let's go to the calls. Who am I speaking to you online? 617.
Hey, ABL. It's Jenna in West Virginia. I just wanted to call. I've spoken with you multiple times before, but I live in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. So it's like right on the border of Loudoun County and then like Montgomery County, Maryland. And something is very different about this year because, for example, like I wear my red Make America Great Again hat, right? And it's alarming. Like back when I used to wear a Trump hat in 2020, people will kind of give me dirty looks and stuff. It is almost alarming. Like, it's actually very joyful. Oh, God, I just used a Kamala word. But it's actually very enjoyable how many people come up to me and are just like, I love your hat. Some people whisper it. Some people are like, oh, my God, I love your hat. And I had to go to Costco today, and I was in a very liberal area of Maryland. And I was like, nope, election time is here. I'm wearing the red hat, so I wore it. I can't even begin to tell you, before I even got out of my car, somebody came up to my car and was like, I love your hat. And it was people from all different walks of life, which is just crazy to me. I mean, the black cashier, there was an abuela that didn't even speak any English, and she taps me on my shoulder, and she points to her hat, which had an American flag on it, and she's giving me, like, thumbs up, and a girl with blue hair, a transgender person with like that looked like a girl with a beard. It was insane. So I was wondering if anybody else is experiencing the same type of thing, but this just feels really different. And honestly, I use it kind of as when they say like, I love your hat. I'm like, did you vote? Did you vote? Because a lot of people around here will be like, no, because West Virginia is Republican. We're always going to vote Republican. My vote doesn't matter. Yes, it does because of the popular vote. Same, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just encourage people to like, hey, have conversations with people. There's actually people out there that I was shocked at the variety of people today that were just like, oh my, at least 25 of them. So it gives me hope.
I love it. That's a fantastic thing because in a lot of instances, some years you wear the MAGA hat and a lot of these blue areas, you're going to get crazy looks. Like when I first started wearing my hat back in the day, I was in New York at the airport and I got some of the craziest looks. But now I think it's different. And that's a great sign for the country, great sign for the future.
Yeah, the cashier. So at the self-checkout, the cashier was black. He came up to me and he kind of leaned in and was like, hey, I just wanted to ask, do you get crap for your hat? And I said, no, actually, it's the complete opposite. And his eyes lit up and he said, really? And he was like, I have one, but I just don't want to wear it because I don't want to start problems. And I was like, wear it. You'll get so much love. And he was like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. So if y'all have them, wear them. Make sure that when people tell you that they love your hat, just remind them to vote. And guys, let's do this.
I love it. Fantastic.
Thank you so much, ABL, for everything that you do. I really appreciate you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate it.
Have a good night.
Thank you. All right. Great call. Yeah. Shout out to the MAGA Republicans all over the place. Liberal areas, conservative areas everywhere. And yes, your vote does matter because popular vote is a thing. Electoral college, all of that. You got to get out there and vote. Make your voice heard. Make your voice heard. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 786 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Mr. Anthony Brian Logan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Well, good today. Got out to vote early this morning, 7 o'clock. I voted Trump and Republican down ticket, by the way. And just wanted to give you a little anecdotes about South Florida. You know, especially where I'm at, it's predominantly Hispanic. And my God, the Trump signs and flags everywhere. And over at the polling place, you just should have seen all the campaign workers out there for Trump and Republican candidates. I couldn't find too many for Democrat candidates. And this is in the Miami area. And another anecdote I want to tell you about is I am a land surveyor. I had to go look at a little bridge that we're doing a project for that connects a little town called Indian Creek Village, which is on a private island. It's nicknamed the Billionaire Bunker. And I had to drive back to the office. I wound up driving through the city of North Miami. I mean, I'm not talking about the northern part of the city of Miami, but it is an actual city called North Miami. It's predominantly black and hugely, almost overwhelmingly Haitian. And driving through that city, I expected to see Harris Walz signs all over the place. I drove maybe 5 or 6 miles through that city. I only saw one.
Wow, interesting.
So, about to say, I don't know if that's a reflection of there may be a huge enthusiasm gap out there. But, I know these are anecdotes, but that's what I've experienced here. And one thing I wanted to bring up, well, a couple of things I wanted to bring up about Ms. Harris, and that is, first of all, she has to have a rally, and all she has to have, falsely advertised concerts. Like one of the big latest examples was Beyonce in Houston. Apparently advertised that Beyonce was going to do a concert, and all she did was a 4.5-minute abortion speech and just walk away. And, think about it. You're going to support this person who has to falsely advertise things like that to get you to her rallies, to get you there? I mean, she's lying to you there. She's deceiving you there. And you're going to trust her to keep her word if she's in office? I mean, that's something to think about right there. And also wanted to say about the abortion issue is that you're saying, get your laws over body, and get the government out. But yet she also supports single payer health care, which is, government control of the health care system. So how are you getting government out while putting government in total control? Can you make that make sense?
I don't see how it makes any sense.
Yeah. So those are a couple of big points right there. I mean, yeah. One other thing I want to say. Oh yeah, I'm glad I left New York State after hearing the Peanut the Squirrel story. I see Governor Kathy Hochul has her priorities straight. And that's all I'm going to conclude with. God willing, and the river don't rise, we'll be smiling after Tuesday night.
Right on, absolutely.
Yeah, by the way, in case I want to let you know I am Amrox in the super chat. My offer still stands to be your guide in Miami. Should you come down here?
I got you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for the call.
All right. Thank you so much. Good night.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Hey, I want to show you guys something right quick. So my New York story when I was in the airport years back and I had my MAGA hat on, right? This is like right around 2016, like right when Trump was first. So I was like fresh with it. It wasn't a thing that people had seen before. I'm black guy. You can't miss me. I'm tall, dark skinned dude, MAGA hat on, and I got these crazy looks. I told y'all a story before about the Three Musketeers, the white lady and her little sidekicks. They were young. They were like in their early 20s, mid 20s, maybe a little later, probably like 25, 26, something like that. But anyway, white guys might have been 5'6", 5'7", turtlenecks. They ain't say nothing to me. They kind of looked the other way. But the ringleader looked just like this. And that same kind of face she had, looking at me like that, when MAGA had on. Didn't say a word, just staring at me like. And I'm like, am I beautiful? Like, what's going on? I was like, oh, she's mad at me. She's protesting my MAGA hat by staring at me and not saying the word. I was like, I got a booger. Like, what's going on? She was mad. And she looked just like this with the turtleneck all the way up, deadpan faced, the little bob swoop back behind the ears type situation. Looked just like that. Not quite as this lady right here. This is AI. She looks kind of okay. The lady I'm talking about looked kind of similar to that, but the main thing was just a little deadpan face, mad because my MAGA hat. Now, I've not gotten that look in quite a while, so that's a good thing. Shout out to the people that are normies, regular normies. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The phone lines are jammed up, so y'all please hang tight. And I'm trying my best to get to them, and it's like a switchboard. All right, here we go. Let's go. Wow. Hold on, I'm sorry. I can't keep up. It's like whack-a-mole. 4-6 on your line, speaker 2.
Hello?
Yes?
Hey, my name is Cameron. I'm from Lubbock, Texas. I just recently voted over here for Donald Trump, voted almost Republican down the ticket. There was a recent poll that came out, and it kind of has me freaked out because it's the Seltzer poll that recently came out and said that Harris is going to be taking all the swing states, get Iowa, maybe Florida and whatnot. And it kind of has me worried about the future of this election in the coming days and also the election. I'm just kind of curious to hear what your thoughts are on this poll. I try not to trust polls that much, but it is a little bit weird that this poll has, it accurately predicted the other elections. And since Trump's not going to run again, what's the future going to look like in 2028? Do you think there's going to be a candidate that'll try to carry his torch? Do you think we're going to go a completely different direction? What do you think about all of this stuff?
So what's the question about, like, what does the poll say now?
Could you repeat that, please?
I said, what's the question? What does the poll say?
Yeah, well, the poll says that Harris is going to apparently carry Iowa by, like, about 3 points. I think nationally, like, it's 3 points. It's just a whole mess.
I mean, I don't think it really matters because didn't Pete Buttigieg win Iowa in 2020, like the primary?
Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
I don't think it matters. And I think going forward in this nation, we want realer people that aren't so scripted and phony. We want reality and we want a better country. So I think we're going to be good. I think the choice of JD Vance was a great one. I like JD Vance a lot. He, I think, will be the next person. He's my age. He's like 40. He's married. He has small kids. Perfect. He'll be the next guy, in my opinion.
You think so? What do you think about some of the other candidates that might be trying to run, like Ron DeSantis, Vivek Ramaswamy? I've heard some people throw Tulsi Gabbard in the ring. You think those might be viable candidates too, or maybe not so much for the next election?
I mean, they could be, but I don't think they better. I think JD Vance is the best one because we saw DeSantis. I like DeSantis, but he's kind of goofy a little bit, to be totally honest. I like him. I like him a lot. I'm not trying to insult him, but to be the president, he might be a little bit goofy. I think Vance is the best one that I've seen thus far.
Yeah, I guess I can get behind that. Well, that's all I had. I want to appreciate it for having me on, sir.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to my man for the call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's go to 551. Your line. Speaker 2.
Hello?
Yes.
Next one line?
Hello?
Yes. I'm sorry. I heard you say next one line. That's what I heard.
Okay. What's going on?
Yeah, I just wanted to have a couple of points. I've called before. My name is Rick. I go by the handle of Luke Rate 1. I'm a New York City school teacher, and I've called the show a couple of times. I have a couple of points about how I feel about this election. I'm cautiously positive that we might pull through. Also, some thoughts on Fat Joe, J-Lo, and Cardi B. From the perspective of a fan who don't go by what they say, but what I feel and what my family's feeling.
Right on. So what's your opinion about that?
Well, basically, ABL, let me start by saying I'm cautiously confident that we will pull through. One thought that keeps me positive is that we don't have COVID now, and if you think about it, I don't think Kamala can pull the numbers that Biden supposedly pulled through last time without all the shenanigans that happened everywhere. And I think you probably agree with me on that. I mean, they don't have that major hump in the back. I don't think she'll be able to copy those numbers. I believe that everyone that voted for Trump last time probably will vote for Trump this time again. And I think he won over some independents that were in the you know. So in that case, I believe that's what's keeping me cautiously positive about our chances on this one. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think we're fine. I'm not worried. I think we have caught up to a lot of what they're trying to do on the other side. A lot of the early voting, ballot harvesting. We are not getting caught flat-footed as we did last time. And I know a lot of conservatives don't want to vote early, or that's the way it was in 2020. But now,
correct,
a lot of conservative people, they're out there early. Like they were out there on the first day, right when it became available. They're out there en masse, in droves, voting. So that's a very good sign.
Yep, I agree with you on that one. The next point I wanted to make quickly was that we can tell that Democrats are trying to make, according to them, this a 3-point election, which is abortion, abortion, abortion. That's all they have. And even on that end, if a person does their research, they lose, because the Supreme Court didn't abolish abortion. They just gave it back to the states. The way they sound is like every woman is dying in every parking lot, in every elevator, every emergency room. Every woman is dying. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting what they're trying to do. But it's actually, in a way, comical to listen to people who supposedly are educated, listening to these buffoons talk like that and actually believing it and voting because someone else said nonsense like that. And I think you mentioned something like this before, so I think you probably agree with me on that one. It's like that's what they have: abortion, abortion, abortion.
I agree. That's all they really have, and that's not a very good campaign. It's like, okay, you're not addressing the concerns of American citizens. Not really. I mean, some may be concerned with that, but the major issues are the first one: economy, prices, money, finances. That's the main issue. But my most important issue is illegal immigration, which impacts everything: safety,
100%,
the economy, everything. So that's the biggest issue that they refuse to address.
Yep. And then the last point I want to make, maybe also give somebody else a chance. It's start with Fat Joe. Man, I can't believe he used that N-word as if he's entitled. You know, he can sit in that stage, and the idiot interviewing him takes it like okay, no problem. You know, of course, because he's on their side. He's on the left side. If he would be right now, let's say one of the those rappers or reggaeton stars that backed Trump at the beginning, and they would have said anything like that, I guarantee you that we will be hearing in the news all day today, all day.
Oh yeah.
But of course, it was Fat Joe, and he's for Harris. He gets a pass, like it's okay. So he's as almost each one of them very hypocritical. Fat Joe looked very hypocritical. J-Lo, I don't know if you noticed, her face as she's making her speech looks like the same face she makes in every movie when she cries. She's acting. You can actually tell she's acting. Good actress. She's doing it again. And I mean, I hope people can see right through it. I mean, I don't care, because I know that doesn't mean anything. Only their side watches those things, and they're going to vote for her anyway. So, but it's just, you know, comical how she and of course, let's be honest. Let's throw a wrench in this engine right now. Out of all those actors and singers that are backing up Harris. She's the one that has the P. Diddy wrench in her engine. You know that. She actually dated and lived with P. Diddy before she became a superstar, singing, guys. Oh, she was already doing the acting. I don't care what anybody says. She knows something. She saw something. She stood quiet. So it's very funny how comical how all these people who have that P. Diddy background are coming out of the woodworks for whatever the reason. I don't know if it's that they're afraid that there are going to be investigations or whatnot, but it's just crazy how they're coming out of the woodworks. And it's funny because I doubted that J-Lo gives a crap, because we can't say anything about what's in your show, about a McDonald's meal costing $14 here in New York, about having to pay double for gas, about having to pay $17 to cross the tunnels from Jersey to New York. She doesn't care about that. It just goes through. And she's acting like she cares or she's worried. No, she's not. I mean, obviously she's not, and none of the others are. And the last one, Cardi B. What a joke! What a joke! An actual criminal who stated it in her biography. She used to put men to sleep and rob them and then leave. Coming to stage and trying to lecture people, when just 6 months ago she was crying on TikTok, telling everybody how people were struggling and she was not going to vote again for Biden. I don't know if you remember that. It's a big thing when she came up with that TikTok video, and now all of a sudden she comes makeup and all, trying to make a point for Harris. It's just comical. I'm actually taking the popcorn and laughing, but man, let's everyone go out, vote. If you can vote early, go ahead, guys. Let's pull our men through, and let's wish for the best for the next 4 years. Take care, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling here. I know the drill. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434. There it is. 434-658-1220. The phone lines are jam-packed, so y'all please forgive me. I'm trying to get y'all on as soon as I can, but it's a struggle. It is a struggle. 372, you're on line with speaker 2.
Hello?
Yes?
Hey, Anthony. Yeah, it's Paul from China, man. How you doing? It's been a long time.
Long time, man. What's going on with you?
Yeah. So, I'm at a point now, man, where I think, I've been watching the election very closely over here. And, Trump is very popular over here. I think Trump is going to win. We can't be too confident because you never know anything could happen, but I think he is going to win. So now I'm at a point, I'm kind of looking past the election. I'm thinking about okay, after he and Vance are, settled in the White House and they pick their cabinet and they're rocking and rolling. Are we? I don't know. Kind of some doubts as to whether or not we're going to see the results that we want. A quick preamble. Trump's presidency was amazing. You had a good economy, low inflation. He did good for minority communities, et cetera, et cetera. We can highlight many, many good things he did during his 4 years. But during the campaign, he campaigned a lot on Obamacare and how he was going to dismantle it and replace it with something better. And maybe he did do some things with Obamacare, but ultimately, Obamacare is still there. And he had 4 years to fix it or get rid of it or replace it, and he didn't. And so the things that people are really hyped about is when Trump and Vance get in there, it's going to be, they're going to finish the wall. They're going to it's going to be they're going to deport millions of people that shouldn't be here. They're going to stop funding for sanctuary cities, and it sounds good, and everybody's hyped about it and excited about it, as we should be. But once all the smoke clears, once the balls are done, once the champagne and caviar is gone, once they pick their cabinet, How confident are you that we're going to see these results? And if we see them, do you think we're going to see them in a timely fashion?
Now, you mean the election results, like the final tabulation of the votes?
No, I'm talking about after the election.
Okay.
I think they're going to win. So, I said we never know, but I'm pretty confident that they're going to win. When I say they, I'm talking about Trump and Vance. I'm talking about results on issues that people are concerned about, results on finishing the border wall, results on mass deportations, results on defunding sanctuary cities, those kind of results. Like, those are the things that people are most hyped about. Of course, inflation and cost of living and cost of housing and things like that. But the main things like finishing the wall, mass deportations, defunding sanctuary cities like Chicago, which is a complete dumpster fire. When Trump and Vance are in office and they pick their cabinet, the Secretary of State, Secretary of Housing, Secretary of Energy, they got their cabinet, they're good to go, they're rocking and rolling. Do you think we're going to see the results that we want to see? And if we're going to see them, how do you think you're going to see them in a timely fashion?
I mean, I don't know about everything that we will want to. Yeah, I don't know, because people can try to do certain things, but you might not be able to do everything. I don't expect any politician to do everything that they promise. So I don't really know. I would hope so. I think the wall will be a priority that he can get back on. He built like 500 miles of wall when he was the president. When he left office, there was materials on the ground that they had just left there and sold and didn't continue. They had to pass certain things to stop what he was doing, executive orders. So the same way they passed those orders, you could pass new orders to resume it. So some things like the wall, I think you could do. Obamacare. The thing about Obamacare is that it's just a set of standards that the companies have to follow. When you talk about insurance, it's just standards. It's not like you get an Obamacare package. So when you want to get health insurance, you got to go to the portal and you're going to go Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever is in your area. It's just the plans are compliant with certain government regulations. And as far as that, I'm not really sure. I think the main thing that he did when he was the president was remove the mandate. So the mandate, for those who don't know, you had to buy insurance. And if you didn't buy it, health insurance, you had to buy health insurance. And if you didn't buy it, you got fined by the IRS. And they would take the fine from your tax return. So if you were getting like $10,000 back from the IRS, they might take $3,000 off the rip. They don't do that anymore. So some things he did to improve it. I'm not sure what else he could do to improve it or change it. I don't know what he could do. But I think overall, we'll have a good administration. Even if every single thing doesn't get done, I think the majority of it will.
Yeah. I'm not gonna hold you, man. I know you got 1,000 people want to get in. I just want to say that everybody's on cloud nine right now about Trump and Vance they're gonna drain the swamp and they're gonna do this, they're gonna do that, and I hope they do. I think whatever kind of administration they have, it'll be better than what Kamala's offering.
Yeah.
But I do think that people are going to have some disappointments. I think that the mass deportations are not going to be at the level that we want. I think that the Venezuelans are still going to be in Colorado. The Venezuelans are still going to be in Chicago. The situation up in Ohio with the Haitians and what they're doing, like they're still going to be there. I read a story. I didn't read it, but I heard about it on social media. Somewhere in New England, I want to say Maine, but don't quote me on that, where people were being, American citizens were being either evicted or their leases were not being renewed because the people, the leadership in that community wanted to have those apartments for migrants. So when I saw one lady on social media on X talking about how she's being evicted from her apartment to make room for these migrants. I think a lot of that stuff is still going to go on. And I think that I don't think people are going to come crashing, but I think people are going to have some disappointments with regard to the results at the level that we want to see them.
Yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah. That's all I have, man. It's been a while, man. I gotta try to call in more, man. But thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Shout out to the caller. Great call. The phone lines are jumping. Let's keep on rocking here. I'll be here for a little while longer. I can't really go to bed no time soon, so I got stuff to do. The election is crazy. 317 on line with speaker 2.
I was just wondering about how you feel about this. I mean, we all know three things. Number one, that Trump is probably 80 or 90%, even though they'll never admit it. Number two, they call him Adolf Hitler and other things. So they're going to cheat. They feel it's morally like imperative, like they have the right to and must in order to save whatever they imagine from, like, I don't know, people live in an imaginary world. And three, they're not going to call the election fair. So, and what do you think that there's a possibility of a civil war or something?
Nah, we're not going to do that. I don't see that happening.
But I hope not.
We're not at that level. We're like you would see a civil war if it was like a food crisis or something serious, not what's happening with the election. I'm not saying the election is not serious, but I'm talking about like an existential crisis. Like we're not there, in my opinion.
Okay. A lot of people that I've talked to think that it is going to end up that way. And there's this channel called What If Alt History. And the guy, he's made a lot of predictions. And one of them is a civil war within this year to up to 5 years. But he thinks this one's most likely and because of the election. And that's what it's going to end up as. I mean, I hate violence. I hate war. If they don't stop cheating or whatever, I don't think it's going to be preventable, that they'll just not piss off enough people. Put it this way, I don't think that 80% of the country is going to accept another 4 years of chemically and physically castrating children and then calling it gender affirming care or medicine or anything else like that. Another thing of thousands of rapists and murderers being let in and told, if you don't like it and you don't want these people breaking into your house and taking over your apartment complex, you're a racist and you just hate them for their race. And the economy's plummeting and you better put up with that or else you're a racist. And I can't see the great overwhelming majority accepting another 4 years of this. That's what I'm saying.
I understand where you're coming from, but a civil war, no, that ain't gonna happen. Not over this.
Okay, well, what do you think will happen if they call it that Kamala Harris won on November 5th or 6th? What do you think will happen?
Well, first of all, it's not going to happen, but let's just play that game. If like a what if, a hypothetical, people are going to be upset, but it's not going to be any kind of violence. I mean, not to the point. There may be like small things like riots, but it won't even be that because listen, 2020, that's what happened. Trump didn't win. And what the conservatives do, it wasn't like we just went out in the streets and started tearing stuff up. So if we didn't do it then, why would we do it now? It doesn't make any sense to me.
Because things have really escalated. They didn't have illegals taking over the country and people telling you that if you don't want them breaking into your apartment with gunpoint, you're a racist or anything like that. The stuff that's happening now in the Biden term wasn't that bad. The heat wasn't turned up that much when they stole the election the first time. You know what I mean? So I think things have changed. I think it's that everyone has, a threshold as an individual, but then you take all that compounding stuff and the collective and you put it together and then things start to really heat up in a way that's not as easy to cool down as an individual. And that's why I think it's just getting closer and closer to the threshold point. That's my short answer to that question. You disagree?
Yeah, I don't agree.
Okay. So, do you have anything else that you think is like that we really ought to be worried about or concerned about other than getting in there and voting?
I don't really live life like that. I just do the right things, and I think that things are going to work out for the best. I don't worry about nothing, really, because at the end of the day, I worry about what I can control, and that's it. Worry about things that I can't control and worrying about the future. I don't do that.
Yeah, a lot of people have started prepping and stuff, and they've already caught.
Oh, well, but look, hold on. Like prepping, I think you should do that anyway, because things can go wrong. I mean, I'm not worried about it, but I'm also ready. So yeah, I would say anybody should be a prepper because you never know. It could be a natural disaster. Anything can happen. You never know what can happen. I'm not worried about it though. Like, okay, I prep a little bit. I have a few guns, allegedly. Well, I had some before the tragic boating accident. I had some guns and ammunition and MREs, things like that. I got a bunker I can go to. I have that stuff ready. I got my truck that got certain little things on it, so I'm ready for that. But that's just in case something goes wrong. It's like having health insurance. I'm not worried about I'm not worried about dying, but I have insurance to help me in case something goes wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, prep for the worst, hope for the best.
There you go.
Type of thing.
Yeah, and in the meantime, live your life. Have your guns ready, but don't sit on the edge of your bed waiting for the bad guy to come. You understand?
Yeah, everyone I'm talking to is really worried about this stuff, and I hope nothing bad happens.
Ain't no sense in worrying about it because what's that going to do for you? All you can do is be ready for whatever happens. Like be prepared for anything, but there's no sense in worrying about it. Worrying about it is not going to make it not happen. If it's going to happen.
Okay. And the other one, they said a lot of people are saying that even the news anchors are getting fed up. There's one guy just quit live on air. Was that you that did the video on that?
I've not done that video yet, but I saw that. That was Hugh Hewitt. I'm going to do that video for tomorrow.
Okay, I'm waiting for it. I got the bell alerted and subscribed. And oh, by the way, what happens when you become a member to the ABL thing?
Well, you just get access to certain emojis, and you could just support me, and you part of a community. What I may end up doing is I can put out videos early. I may start doing that for members, but right now you just get like the special emojis you can use in the chat. That's kind of what it is. So it's more just to help me and help the channel go. That's pretty much what it is.
All right. Remember to promote that. Oh, and one last thing. This is off topic, but what type of mic and mixer do you use? Because I love audio equipment.
Okay, so just for the people watching, I'm going to do a video. I keep saying I'm going to do a video. I have the Amazon influencer program, so I'm going to put all my products in the list, and I'm going to do a video so you can see it. But I'm going to tell you right now what I have. This mic is a Shure SM7B, SHURE SM7B. And it's an XLR microphone. My mixer, I have a Rode Procaster. I think that's what it's called. And this is one of the original ones. They have new ones. They got small ones, but I have the original Rode Procaster. Now this is $700. I wouldn't necessarily get that. I would get the smaller one they have like in Best Buy that may cost half of the price. It's like $400 for that one, I think. Yeah. That might be all you need.
You used to have a Rode NT1A.
You said what now?
I thought you used to have a Rode NT1A mic.
I may have. I have quite a few mics. I got an Audio-Technica 2020, AT 2020. I got another Rode mic. I probably got about 4 condenser mics. But the Shure is the best one for sure, hands down.
Oh, do you use the cloud lifter with the Shure or just use it by itself?
By itself, because the mixer does everything for you, because you can adjust things in the mixer. You can adjust it to your voice, and you can do a lot with the mixer. The cloud lifter is where you got just an audio interface only, like a solo mixer, the red one. That is where you use the cloud lifter to give you more gain, more bass. But you don't need that with a mixer, with this mixer.
All right. Well, I look forward to that video of you showing off all your cool stuff. I love the AT 2020. It's one of my favorites. Billie Eilish recorded the Ocean album on it. All right, talk to you later, man. Thank you.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. All right, shout out to the caller. All right, I'll take a few more. Let's go to 954. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
I don't want to say my name because, I'm a undercover Republican.
It's all good.
So I just got to get on here and get off, All right. So first thing I want to say is I'm down for New World Order. I'm down for it. Right now, all of the systems that we have here in America, they have too many loopholes, too many areas of concern that people could just do what they want to do. Right now, I'm upset because there is a major threat to democracy. This whole Kamala Harris, whatever her name is, Cocoa Puffs, whatever. I still don't understand why Democrats are not upset that we did not get to pick who would be on the ballot. I'm pissed. I don't even understand. I try to explain it so much to so many Democrats, and they're just like, you're a Trump supporter. You're a Trump supporter. Okay, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But who I would have liked to be on the ballot would have been RFK. Why? Because he aligns with my values. Right now, the food and everything that they got going on, they're tainting left and right and got yellow 5 and yellow 40 and everything. It's to the point where everything you pick up has every type of vegetable oil, all kind of foolishness. The food is making everyone sick. Everybody's sick. People don't even realize it. I would have liked to have voted for RFK versus Trump, somebody else. I don't know. So right now, I already seen that RFK is now supporting Trump. So guess what? I'm just going to have to swing right on over and vote that way because it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is.
All right.
Yeah,
it's terrible. So what else can I talk about? Kamala is not black at all. 0%, 0. Candace Owens already did the whole genealogy, got the genealogy all the way back to like the 1700s. It was amazing. I love stuff like that. So people don't even know how the concept of race was developed. To the point where if Kamala's mother is Indian and Kamala's father is so-called Irish, in Jamaica there's a thing called Jamaica white. So anyone who would have ever lived in Jamaica would know that there was definitely separation between the white and the blacks in Jamaica. They were called Jamaica white. They had money. They had cars. They had everything. They weren't like the regular black people in Jamaica, like my mother, at all. They had money. They had shops. They had everything. They ran the town. They established the town. The man is supposedly Irish, is what they're saying, and I believe it. So now, if he is Irish and the mother is Indian, Indians in our race structure were changed. I don't even know what year. They were deemed white. Okay? So the Indian lady is white in the structure of what racism is supposed to be. And then you have the Irish white man. That makes whites 100% white. If we are going to play into this whole, this is what race is all about. If we're going to play into that. So I need black people to wake up and see, just because you go to a HBCU does not mean you're black. Just because you got black friends does not mean you're black. You're doing a disservice to the real black community that needs help, period. Another thing, Ohio, the Haitians in Ohio. I work for a not-for-profit. I'm not sure all of the stories that they come up about the Haitians eating cats or whatever. Who knows what happened or whatever. I don't care. The whole thing is, I'm not sure if the Republicans are making it seem like Haitians just got dropped there or whatever the story might be, but I went out there for work. So we have to make sure that the Haitians get the health care that they need. Yes, taxpayers pay for all of that, okay? If you ever look up the bill, I'll name it. You guys pay for all of that. These Haitians just came there for the manufacturing jobs, and they just called all their buddies. And that's how it's been for years now, years. But yet, the Republicans are like, hey, they just dropped off some 20,000 Haitians. False. That's not what happened. The Haitians say, hey, there's work over here. It's cheap over here. I like it over here. Let's go to Ohio. Springfield, let's go. That's what happened. And then they said, hey, brother, hey, auntie, hey, sister, hey, other illegal Haitian immigrant friend, y'all come over here, it's cheap. And that's what happened there. And my job now is like, hey, y'all need health care? What y'all got going on? Y'all thriving though. But what y'all got going over there? Let me help you guys out with some health care. Because some of y'all spreading stuff that y'all not supposed to be spreading in the top. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, I've heard a few stories about the house in Virginia, if you know what I'm talking about.
Listen, all that be going on and more. I can tell you stories where people are called bug chasers.
Oh, Lord.
Bug chasers. Oh, okay. We can go down that rabbit hole. A bug chaser is a person that realized that the government got money for you if you got certain bugs.
Wait.
And they go get that bug.
Wait. They're getting the bug on they're getting the bug on purpose to get paid from the government?
It's called HIV.
No.
$1 billion industry.
That's crazy.
I'm just letting you know. So they're called bug chasers. And they go and purposely get infected. Why? Why? There's money. Before, when I first ended up in the industry, working for not-for-profit public service for 16 years, before all that, housing was easily accessible. Boom, put you in a house. You got a bug? Put you in a house. Bomb. What you need? Healthcare? Bomb. Mental health? Bomb. Dental care? Bomb. You name it. Here you go.
That's crazy.
Hey, middle class is painful. Middle class is painful. I'm paying for it. People need help. A lot of them, they don't even abide by the rules. People want to make it seem like, oh, they just get help. That's not true. Maybe the immigrants, the Venezuelan immigrants, because I deal with the grant for that too, but that's a whole other story. But these people, they do need help, but they do need some sort of the Venezuelans is another story. They need a system set up to make it harder. All I can tell you is I was not born here. I was brought here. I'm a dreamer, AKA the Dream Act. Was brought here by my mommy. Okay, we went to Disney World and never came back. Thank God for America. God bless America, okay? Because if my mommy ain't dragged us over and just went to Disney World and never came back, I wouldn't be here right now on the ground trying to help the Black community figure it out. But all I can say is we just need to heal everyone, the Black community in specific. The education is not there. The cycle of poverty just continues to happen all the time. It is ridiculous, the things that I see on the ground. I don't even know what to tell you. All I want is for the Black community to heal so that we can move forward. Slavery happened a long, long time ago. Anybody that brings that argument to me, I shut it down. Oh, you know, the man. What man? Who? Where? What he look like? He had on blue pants today? What man is stopping you from doing what? Make it make sense. Wake up. You can't beg for integration and then be like, we would have been better off if we had our own. It makes no sense. I'm going to just leave it like that. Leave everything. I'm going to just leave the phone right now because I can't even talk. I'm just passionate. That's all I know. We just need to heal the community, heal America. Immigrants are not all criminals. Ain't no one breaking into nobody's house. I don't know what the other caller was just talking about. Whoever, whatever. It's not happening. Like, we want to just live in peace, just like all of white America, Black America, orange America, Puerto Rican candy stripe, whatever. Oh, yeah, Amendment 3 in Florida.
Right.
No to Amendment 3. No. Okay? Just like Destiny Child. No. Okay? These fools got police officers on TV talking about, yeah, we're going to keep you guys out of jail if you vote yes on Amendment 3. What are you talking about? If you have more than an ounce, you still get arrested. What are you talking about? If you have a plant in the ground, you still get arrested. What are you talking about? All it is a big play on big pharma so that they can sell the drugs and then have y'all out here cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, walking around talking about, you know, everything's all nice. Meanwhile, they're depressed out of their mind because they can't figure out the poverty that they're in and how to get out of that dang circle.
Right on.
Nevertheless, digress. Have a good night. I don't know what I call myself right now. I'm a registered Democrat. I don't know. I'm not really a Republican. I'm just a person. Both sides. I hate all of it. But right now, I'm not down for World War III. So guess what? Trump 2024. Good night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate it.
All right.
Shout out to the caller. Sorry for the last minute hang up, but I have to go. I got to go because it's 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. If you couldn't get on tonight, I'm sorry. I apologize. Blame the white man. It ain't my fault. So I got videos to do tonight before I go to bed. We get the extra hour. I thought it was going to be the loser hour. You gain an hour. So again, the clocks go back an hour. So at 2 a.m. tonight, it goes back to 1 a.m., right? Ain't that how it go? So we gain an hour. And then comes springtime, that's when we lose the hour. And that's why I say the dude who did that should get waterboarded for making me lose the hour. I want the hour all day time. I don't want it for a small minute. I want it all the time. Anyway, shout out to you guys. I'll be back, of course, live on Tuesday. Back live on Tuesday for election night. And we're going to do the results. And I'll be back live on Wednesday for the calls. Maybe I'll do more time for the calls on Wednesday because it'd be a bigger call volume. Some of y'all were saying I should do more time for the calls, but a lot of times I don't have a big call volume. So if I just set aside time for the calls and I got like 2 calls, it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to end up just doing a regular show anyway. You see what I'm saying? But certain times I know I'm going to have a lot of volume. I can make more time for the calls. All right. But that'll be a wrap. Shout out to you guys for being here. I appreciate y'all. Again, we're live on Tuesday night for the election and Wednesday from a regular show plus Saturday. And if I need to go live any other time aside from that, I'm going to do it. Normally I don't do videos on Sunday, but I got 3 videos right now. I got to do the Hugh Hewitt when he quit on air. I got to do that. I got to do the squirrel, RIP Peanut. Okay, RIP Harambe, RIP the raccoon that got euthanized as well. And I got one more. I forgot what it was, but I got it saved. So I got to do those before I go to bed. I got to talk to my people to get the ad on there. I got to do a lot. But anyway, that's all I got for y'all. I'll be back. Of course, y'all know how it is. This will also be an audio streaming podcast available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or you could just go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Do I have super chats I need to get to? Let me see if I have super chats. Okay, I might need to upgrade my equipment. I need to upgrade my whole PC to be able to run Chrome because it's struggling right now to run Chrome. And it's crazy. I got a bulletproof PC. I think Chrome just has a problem, or YouTube in the background. Or maybe it's a conspiracy from Windows to make me buy more stuff that I don't want to buy. Anyway, let me go and see the super here. If I can do it. This is crazy. Come on, computer. Like, tighten up. To have to get a new PC or an upgraded to upgrade my CPU would be ridiculous. Anyway, shout out to M. Martin 261 who says they have us paying communists to indoctrinate onto our kids. Hold on. Y'all give me a second because I can't. It's not letting me do what I got to do. All right, let me go to where I need to be, and then we can keep moving. Shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for being here. All right, this is better. Let's do it this way. All right, where we at? Okay, let's do it this way. Thank you to Gemini123 who says, when Trump wins, how will your content change? Why would it change? I mean, I guess it won't be any more Kamala videos because it won't be a need to. I cover the news, so whatever's going on in the news, I'm going to cover. So I guess it won't be Kamala videos. It's whatever. Whatever happens is what I cover. That gets to EMH, who says illegal to criticize transformers if Kamala wins. That gets to Bobcat MIT, who says, have you given any more thoughts to an ABL get together? I have. I put up the community post about doing meet and greets, and I got a lot of responses. Vegas was one. People saying Atlanta. So that's going to be a thing. I'm going to look more into that after the election. You know, I'm going to call some of my guys I know and see what they do for their meet and greets. I'm about to call Anton and a bunch of other people to see what they got going on as far as meet and greets. And I know, matter of fact, I think Anton in Atlanta right now. I would have been down there, but I got all this going on. I got invited to a college football game. I got Anton in Atlanta, but I got to stay what I got. I got to keep on this because I know it's a bunch of stories. I did videos today, plus a live stream, videos tomorrow, then on Tuesday, then on Wednesday, then on Saturday. I'm slam packed. Thank you to Boomhauer, who says, it's been day 22 for me now being sick with walking pneumonia. I'm finally getting better. I'm going to a MAGA party on Tuesday. Going to try and talk them into putting your show on the big screen. Hey, that'd be the right idea, Boomhauer. So shout out to you, man. And hopefully you keep on feeling better and get over that walking pneumonia. All right. And then Martin261 says, the average paying communists to indoctrinate our kids and cheat our elections as poll workers and the trackers. And it's it's not written properly, but shout out to you. Rebel Without a Reason says Kamala's going to be on SNL. So I guess SNL starts right now. Maybe they're going to show that. We'll see. All right. I think that's everything. Okay. Let me just refresh just to make sure I'm straight. And then we'll wrap it on up, put the bow on top. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. All right. So that'd be a wrap for me. I'll be back live again. Oh, and before I got to close out. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you like what you heard tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Thank you to the mods, keeping the trolls in check. I really, really appreciate y'all. I could not do the show without you. As I said earlier, this is an audio streaming podcast available on your favorite audio streaming platform, Google Play, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the box, or go to your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL. I'll pop right on up. All right. That should be it. I have a lot to do. Shout out to you guys. I will see y'all on Tuesday and every day putting out pre-recorded content. But until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.